Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Synth Geekery, episode 281, I believe, or YouTube is telling me that anyway. I'm cheating this week. I'm looking at YouTube. How are you? It's a massive show this week. We have got a lot to get through. There's a lot of new products that have come out, and they're not NAMM based. So this is like NAMM. We've finished with that, and then, hey, let's just release a whole bunch of stuff anyway because everyone else is. So we'll go check all that out. There's a new segment this week, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that one. I'll tell you about that actually really soon, so do stick around. And we have a Name That Synth. We have our regular segments like Funny Side, the news as I mentioned before, and we also have a bumper price watch segment. And also Zoom is up and running. I've got someone sitting in the waiting room in Zoom already. It's really busy. But before we do anything further than that, we should probably say a big thank you to all the channel supporters. These are the channel members. I went through and removed some of the people that have dropped off the planet, so the list is not quite as long as a couple of weeks ago. But these people are stayers. Well done, guys. Patreons too. Now, back to me. Well done for that. Now, just a quick one. Back to me, sorry. With the Patreon, you guys will probably notice that there's been a whole bunch of stuff happening on Patreon. If you haven't, maybe you should go check it out because you're Patreon members. One of the things that's new on Patreon is that I have actually set up a sample pack for the VC-Z3 oscillator B. I've done this one, and I've done a little kind of cool thing where, you know, when you use a CV MIDI controller and it goes out of tune when you start going up and down octaves. It doesn't keep those perfect, lovely, digital, perfect octave ranges perfect for you. I've made it so that yours will drift up and down the octaves, and I've sampled every single one of those freaking notes of the CV, and I've uploaded that, and I've created a little thing. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like in a minute. You guys can check it out, and that's actually sitting over there for you guys who are just Patreon, just standard Patreon members. You guys can download that for free. It's sitting over there right now for you. Whoever's on Patreon would have it already by now. So there's that. Right, now let's go across to everybody here. While we're saying quick hello to everyone, I'm just going to get Steve to jump in. Sorry, Steve, won't be a tick, buddy. I've just started the show. Yeah, here he is. He's here. Cool. And it's working. See, I didn't lie to you, Ian. I promised.
You didn't. No. He said it was all.
See, look, there's Steve. See, if you don't believe me, there's Steve. Is your audio working, Steve? He's waving at us. Yeah.
Nice sweatshirt. I like the
but
sweatshirt.
I can't hear you, mate. So I don't know whether that's my end or your end, or we're not sure if it's Zoom's end. Let me just pop him in the corner anyway. We'll see if we can sort that out. Little tech support stuff at the start of the show. Isn't that fantastic, guys? Don't you just love it? Right, Chatties, Zoom. Let's go like that and put Zoom there. Steve, can you hear us? He can't hear us. I don't know why he can't hear us.
Oh dear.
Let me try. Steve, can you hear us? Try B. Steve, can you hear us on B? Nah. Weird. Anyway, let's wonder why the hell Zoom's being stupid. Let's open the Zoom manager here and see if there's anything I can do this end. His audio is turned on. Audio source is shared. Meeting settings is all correct.
Yeah, so he's not. He's just said he can't hear us on Zoom. So I know we know that, but he's confirmed.
Let me just go into the Zoom app. Just give me a sec. Let me just do this. This won't take long. bit.ly/Ranzee Zoom. If you guys are wondering, I am putting a link in the chat in a minute.
Where's the pudding? That's wrong.
I do pudding.
We all do pudding, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just... I think it's muted. That's what it is. Let me just see if it's muted. That's not muted. Stay as a participant. Okay, I can see Steve. Just not sure why he can't hear us. Anyway, we'll sort that out in a sec, Steve, because it's weird. You can jump on. Steve can jump onto YouTube anyway, and you can listen to us on there. So that's fine. But it's definitely showing the feed, which is the most important thing. They should be able to see what we're looking at right here. So that's cool. All right, now let's do g'days. Starting with Daren, because he had his head down.
Yeah.
Aye,
How's your week been, mate?
Very busy this week. Very busy. Just finished. Was at Stafford EMOM last night, so I've got to say a big thank you to Simon Greybatch for doing that, especially the big LED visual wall. It was huge. And everyone who decided to come down and play, they were all great. Everyone who came up just to watch, that was great as well. It was his first EMOM in Stafford, and it couldn't have gone any better. Great venue. The sound was amazing, absolutely amazing, and the big video wall at the back, that was great as well. So everyone who came, go to the next one, get down to the EMOM. There's another EMOM tonight in Burton-on-Trent, and there's one in Lichfield on Monday, so get down to those EMOMs. But yeah, big up to Simon and Lee, who did the visuals and the streaming of it. So you can always go to EMOM streams and see what it was like at the venue, because it was really good. So that's out of the way. That was last night. Got back about 1 o'clock this morning. My new album's out, the one that I sent to Ian and had a look at it.
Yeah.
That new album is live now, so you can go to Bandcamp and just get that album, because everything I do is always free, so it's not like you have to get your hard-earned cash out, but great if you do. But yeah, go and check that out. And I'm working on the third in the series of The Life We Live, because everyone seems to like them. The last two have been really big, so the third one's coming along now, so that should be interesting as well. And I think that's about all my. I've put on Facebook the link to Bandcamp with my new album. It's End of Days. So, cool. And if you get the whole album, there's a bonus track. Ian says it's okay.
Which is definitely.
So it must be.
I know it's definitely worth having for the bonus track. The bonus track is all great.
That's a no-brainer.
Really
I'll be downloading the album for sure.
Well, thank you very much. Well, that's been my week. Pretty packed.
Great news.
Yeah.
Great news. Yeah. Awesome.
Excellent.
Let's head over to the next person, which is Andy. How are you, mate? How's your week been? No, you're muted. Your microphone is on my end. Do you want me to come back to you? We can't lip read. Well, some people can. I'll come back to you. Hey, Ian.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's been really good, actually. Audiophile Radio Show dropped this morning, at 1 o'clock this morning, just as Daren was getting home. A couple of Daren's tracks are on there, along with a lot of other stuff that's I've fancied playing this month. So that's on all. It's via Podbean, but you can get it on Apple Music and maybe Spotify. I'm not quite sure what Spotify. What else? I did a radio interview on Thursday. No, I didn't. I did it on Tuesday, but it came out on Thursday. That was for the local radio station wanting to know about Sinner's music, which was lovely, actually. It took up the whole bloody show. I was there for an hour. Nice. Didn't quite expect that, but lovely guy, Julian. So that's on Mixcloud. I'll put it on. I might have already put it in Facebook, actually. Thank you to everybody who donated to my January cancer research walk. I managed to do more than the 62 miles. I managed to do, it was actually nearer 70, but interesting. I did a walk yesterday, last day, and the app didn't register the whole thing. Anyway, I've certainly cracked the. I had to do 62 miles. We've raised £371, and so thanks to everybody, because I know people in the chat and people who watch the show also donated. Apart from it wasn't just my family, bless them. But thanks to everybody, that was brilliant. We've pretty much finished the Ramshackled album, which will be out next Friday. We're just finishing the sequencing, and then that's going to promotion. And I've been prepping for tonight's gig, which I'm scared to death of. Right, I'll be honest with you. It's, I'm using stuff that I've never used before live, and every time I've practiced it, it's slightly gone wrong, which I'm sort of quite expecting to happen. And as I said last week,
the chaos.
Exactly, it's limiting the amount of things that go wrong. I mean, I tell you, I use the iPad for the instrument.
It's probably best that it goes wrong, because
you think so?
It's the other way around. Because if it goes right in the studio and everything, it will go wrong live.
Oh yeah,
if it goes
true.
Wrong in the studio, it might go wrong right live.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, I've got one of the apps that keeps crashing, but I've got contingencies if that happens. So yeah, so it's always about limiting. What do you do? You don't panic. You actually do something else. So
it's all part of the excitement.
It certainly is. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, but it'll be scary. I've got more gear than I would normally take. It's all piled up behind me here. So but that'll be fun. And I'll tell you all about that next week.
Awesome. Chris,
Hey,
how's your week been?
it's been a challenging week. Happy to be here for another week of Synth Geekery. It's been a challenging week in the workshop, dealing with the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
But I have reached a few milestones this week, which is good. The first milestone is on the Trexie project. I managed to complete the system exclusive transfer protocol and upload a patch to the Trexie module using that. And I also managed to complete the actual loading and error checking of a patch, and it managed to read it from its internal memory. So get those two things done, important milestones to proceed and to complete the project, hopefully. So I'm hoping we're talking weeks rather than months now, which is good. The other milestone I reached this week is directly related to the Trexie project. It's a new module. I'm sending out PCBs for a new module next week for the prototype, so we'll see how that goes. I have something to show you guys, so that'll be good, exciting. So it's a new thing. Did a bit of noodling, did a bit of going through factory presets and writing down which ones I wanted to keep, which is always very few, and which ones I want to turn into initial presets on a module. I also came up with an idea for a completely new module this week, which is very much out of my comfort zone in terms of technology, but it's right up the alley of what everyone seems to be doing these days, which is working with devices like the Daisy Seed. It's simple enough. It's just a drum sampler, but it's got some specific kind of Maikshifter requirements, because as usual, it starts off as something I want to have, and then I'm looking to see if it's anyone's making it, and I haven't yet found anyone who's making it exactly what the ideas that I have. So I thought, okay, I'm writing that down into the little manual, and that might be a project I go to in the future, because I've been waiting for a project to use something like a Daisy Seed on. I haven't as yet had a really good idea to do anything on it, but this one could be good. This one could be exciting. So it's in the notepad. You never want to forget these things. Apart from that, just the usual, staying cool. I had my meeting with my financial planner this week, and the good news is that I'm not going to go broke this year. So I've got another year of working in the business at least, and I'm not in financial dire straits or anything like that. So comfortable at this stage, which is good news. So yeah, we're just shifting a few things around, and should be back to business as usual. That's my week.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Andy.
Yes, it is working now. So
it sure is.
I had to reset. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm still recovering from all the NAMM craziness. So if you guys haven't seen the endless footage that I shot, please check it out. Had a little run-in with Nick, so I appeared in one of Nick's videos on Sonic State. That was kind of cool. Got to drive Mike Metley and Dina Perlman around. That was interesting. Yeah, just tons of footage from Buchla and NAMM events. It was really cool. Live performance by Suzanne Ciani and Todd Barton and some other guy on Marimba Lumina, which is kind of weird, from Buchla. What else? Oh, a lot of people watching the video so far. I've got, I think, an extra 100 subscribers, so that was kind of cool. I'm almost to the point of monetizing the channel. I'm just shy of 1,000, so one of these days I'll make some money off the stupid thing. So that was most of what happened on there, but I did acquire a nice little toy that I really enjoy. So
What?
Wow!
Yes.
Well done.
So, yes.
He made an offer
So look,
someone couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
it's nice to know people. So I got to know some people pretty well. So I got.
Stop it. Get some help.
So look for videos on that coming out. It's more wicked than you know. I've been reading a bunch of stuff on it, watching some other videos, and it does way more than I thought it did. So I'm pretty happy about it. So good stuff.
I'm jealous, Andy. Absolutely jealous.
Yeah.
He's proper.
It's really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yay! Now Steve is here. Now I don't know if Steve, he's probably listened to us on YouTube, and I don't know if your audio is working at our end, but I have noticed that on Zoom you were muted, but you're not now. So just give it a go anyway. We'll go to Steve and see if it
I
works.
think it's working now.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, it was a fault on my end.
So Zoom is working.
Good day, Steve.
Yeah, that's
Hooray!
fine.
Good day, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing, Ian?
mate.
You all right?
I'm good, yeah. Good to see you, mate.
That's good. So I was over at the E-Mon in Stafford last night, met up with Daren and Jim Glue. Yeah, it's good. So get down there if you can get down there. So I've just been busy fixing that JP behind me. Managed to get that working.
That's awesome, man. Well done for that.
And the A1W as well, got a new display now because the EL foil wouldn't work anymore. So I swapped the foil out, but it still didn't work. So I think some of the supporting stuff on the power supply is defective on that. So I just put an LED one in instead. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've swapped my job now. So after 2 years of
straight on the auction house.
yeah, after 2 years of not doing any stuff with the modular stuff, I'm gonna crack on with it now, I think, and get back into it again. Now I'm better state of mind. So
Awesome, man. That's good news. Good news.
Yeah, it's great to hear.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
Good stuff.
Thank
Have
you.
fun.
Fantastic. Well, it's all good news all around. We'll go across to here because Steve's still in the frame. So that's just so everyone knows, Zoom is working, as I did say at the start. And you can join us. The link is it does post automatically in by the bot. If you do forget it, the bot goes in there and
it came up.
posts.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm just going to pop it in again. There's the Zoom link there. If you guys want to join us in Zoom, we've got a spot for 100 people, so plenty of room. Now, new segment time. Now, we're not going to, with this new segment, we're going to run it every week. I'm going to run it now because I want to introduce it to everyone early in the show and get everyone used to what's happening. So let's run the stinger. We spared no expense. Yep.
Brilliant.
I used AI and AI to make that stinger. No expense was spared.
Done yourself.
It's a quiz. Yes, we're going to do a quiz every week. Now, how the quiz is going to work, it's actually really cool. How it's going to work. At the moment, we haven't got a sponsor for this segment. So, by the way, if you are someone that can sponsor this segment, there is an opening for you. Please contact me. My contact details are in the description below. Now, how this is going to work, during the show, we are going to, I'm going to, mention 3 code words at random parts during the whole show. And you may be really, really good and work it out from one code word. Or you might need all 3 to work it out. And then we're going to run the stinger again at some stage towards the end of the show, and you guys are going to have a chance to guess. Same sort of rules with guessing. We're only going to take your first guess. You can guess at any stage during the show, but if you do, please highlight my name at put Ranzee into the chat. If you're on any of the other platforms like TikTok or Twitch or Trovo, someone can monitor those for me, and then tell us this is your synth quiz guess, and let us know what the guess is. And if you get it correct, you get some kudos this week. No prizes until we get a sponsor. I can't really sort of think of anything in here that I can give away, but yeah, we'll try and get a sponsor for the. Yeah, no, wait, that's not going to happen. We'll try and get a sponsor for the segment.
That's not a prize.
Yeah, it's a punishment. So, why don't we start off with our regular segments? I'm not going to give you the first code word yet. You're going to have to watch the show. So, at some stage, I will pause the show, run the stinger, and tell you the code word. All right. Okay, let's start off with our first regular segment, which is Funny Side. Indeed it is. Now, why is that screen looking like that?
There you go.
Yeah, indeed. Now, this one was sent in by JX3D, who I think he might be in the chat.
G'day, mate. Haven't seen him, but
haven't
g'day,
seen him in
mate,
the chat.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Haven't seen him.
Watching on catch up.
Big hello to Henrik. That one literally tore the internet down because I thought it was hilarious.
Or Gulf of Behringer or Gulf of Tesla, take your pick. So
yeah, the original meme that was put on the Synth meme group was actually an Akai MPC, and it was Gulf of Akai MPC. That was the original. I didn't find that funny at all. I thought this was definitely funny. So
that doesn't really work.
Henrik, you outdone yourself this week, mate. All right, let's keep going. This one was sent in by Robbie Piricelli. As you guys know, he's failed muso. As a musician, this is the highest compliment you can receive from another musician. Indeed. Indeed. If you do get the snotty nose kid looking at that like that at you, you've done well. You've outdone yourself. Right. Next is Korg, Roland, Yamaha, Arp, and Behringer. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Ouch.
That one just makes you feel a little tad uncomfortable, doesn't it? Just a tad uncomfortable. Next we have, it's not hoarding if your shit is cool. That's right. That's our policy of the week. Everyone, you're off the hook this week. Let us know in any of the chats what your favourite meme of the week is. You shouldn't need reminding. They're all pretty relatively easy to remember. I am watching TikTok chat right now. There's a whole bunch of people joining us on TikTok right now. Awesome. So just keep joining, keep doing it. On Twitch, if you guys are on Twitch, please do the follow. It's called follow. Now I'm getting the terminology correct. You can even do an Amazon Prime on me if you want to. That'd be really, really cool. And if you guys are on YouTube, which most of you are, don't forget to join the members. I'll tell you there's a benefit for joining this channel for members in a sec, so stick around for that. But yeah, we're getting some answers in. Let's go across to the chatties and see what they say. Gulf of Behringer, we're getting lots of Gulf of Behringer. Yeah, I'd say that one's pretty much. Matt Brown's going a bit off the cuff there with the coconut spit. That's a cool name for a drink, by the way. Go to the bar and say, "I'll have a coconut
spit,
spit, thanks."
Delicious.
Extra COVID. Extra COVID.
Exactly.
I remember in Hong Kong there was a drink called Pocari Sweat.
Oh yeah, it's a Japanese drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We're not going to ask how it's made, Ian. Okay, this is a PG show.
No, I quite liked it actually. Yeah.
It actually is partly milk based, which is really weird. They have a lot of milk based drinks in Japan.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm glad you've been paying attention because I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that stinger every single time. I'm just doing it just because I think it's cool. Your first code word for the quiz today is 1999. All right, there we go. While we're at it, we're going to go across to the next segment, which is news. Busier than a one-legged pogo jumper. That's what I am. This week, we have got an absolute massive plethora of stuff to get through. Not quite as many as last week, but definitely a lot more than I thought. I thought we'd have this sound coming out of the news, but no, it's not. It's actually, this sound. That's what it is. We've got lots of new products, starting with this one, CME C2MIDI Pro. I did promise last week that I'd show it, so here we are, first cab off the rank. Why do I want to show it? Because CME are awesome. Everyone who loves WIDI, take a drink. You will definitely like this particular thing. There's actually another product that I'm going to show you guys again, a second suck of the sav from these guys next week though. But anyway, we'll stick with this one. It is a high performance USB-C MIDI cable designed for seamless communication with advanced functionality. It features a built-in 32-bit processor and high-speed optocouplers, ensuring ultra-precise data transmission with minimal latency and no dropouts. Now, just a quick one on that, guys. I don't know if you guys know a little bit about how much data MIDI does use. It's absolutely sweet fuck all. So I don't think you need a very big processor. Just quietly. Anyway, I mean, the thing was invented in the 1980s.
Yeah, I know.
Well, until you start adding all the roly expressions and stuff, then it gets nuts, right? So.
Yeah.
Right. Well, how does this work? Key
Don't
features are, there's no video, by the way, so you're going to have to put up with me talking about it. It works with both USB MIDI interface as well as a standalone smart MIDI cable. Now, that is probably the big thing here. It's a standalone smart MIDI cable. It supports all modern MIDI data types, including MPE, your standard clock, and SysX as well. It does MIDI filtering. There's a way to get in there and do filtering, mapping, and routing capabilities with the UX MIDI Tools software. Good job from CME on that, let me tell you. Compatible with Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, Linux, Chrome. Wow, they're listing a lot there. So powered directly through MIDI and USB-C connections, requiring no external power supply. The versatile tool is ideal for budding musicians who want a little cool cable that does really reliable and intelligent MIDI stuff. Now, prices, no price yet. They are going to release this very, very soon. I believe sometime in the first half of the year. But if you are keen on getting your name down with the first product release, they are taking emails, so expressions of interest. So do head over to CME Pro. I'm gonna actually do a little thing that I don't usually do. I'm actually going to give you guys the link. I'll do it in YouTube actually first, and I'll head over to.
I use the CME MIDI in my live set, so the decent stuff. So,
yep,
you know, it controls all my rig basically. Not this product, but a CME product does.
Yeah.
But this looks interesting as well, just being a nice cable. And I've never had any issues, so I'll give it a thumbs up.
All right. Thumbs up from Daren. That is the vote of confidence. Now, who's missing in the corner here? Chris? You're not there.
It's Steve Elbows just said it's listed at 25 quid on Gear for Music. That's cheap, isn't it?
Wow.
That's kind of the that's the approximate price I was told as well. So but I haven't been given an official price yet from them.
I guess that makes sense because I mean it's around about the same price I think for some of the Bluetooth products.
Yeah.
Is it 25? Some of them. I think the CME Core, the thing I've got, which I was going to do some experiments with, I think that was about £25. Yeah. Similar technology, just non-Bluetooth. It's still, they'll be using the same kind of microprocessor. And they certainly now know their MIDI, so that's very cool.
Yeah. I've just posted that link for TikTokers, so you guys can grab that in your chat. There's quite a lot of people on TikTok coming in.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting, Ranzee. It doesn't tell me how many people are on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, so I am one of the...
Yeah, it won't tell you.
Me
it
how
tells
many
me because
watching.
I've got a dashboard.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It's actually more than what's on YouTube, which actually makes me scratch my head. Anyway, I don't think they're hanging around for 3 hours, but if you are, that's cool.
No.
Good on you. Because you've got to put up with the vertical screen, and like I think everyone is all chopped off. So I don't know if there's a way that it adjusts it, or
like that.
Not sure.
Just
Panel scan.
Oh, okay, it's Kraakdoos. Yeah, that's okay then.
Oh, cool.
So it's cropped, and then I've got the chat below.
That's nice. All right, I don't mind that. We can handle that. Right. Well, that's from CME. Good job from those guys. I think they're based in Singapore, if you're wondering. Anyway, let's move on. Let's just going to disappear you for a sec, Chris, because I don't want to cut the product off. This was actually shown at the Buchler and Friends event, which was just after NAMM. And you guys know I love Studio Electronics. My favourite thing that Studio Electronics did was they partnered with Roland and made a boutique, and it's the only boutique that I think actually deserves a pat on the back from Roland, and that is the SEO2. But I do like the other boutiques, Andy, but I just absolutely love the SEO2.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
SEO2 is good.
Yeah.
I saw this in person. The guy showed me some stuff on it. It's pretty cool. So.
I think the big thing to note about this, they haven't really told us a lot about what's happening with. If you guys know, the code has been out for a while. They run a couple of versions of the code. It's a pretty cool rack mount sort of synth. But this particular one has a little extra. It's called the Luxe. It's got a little bit of extra stuff on the right hand side. You'll see. It's a bit hard to see there, but maybe if can I do this? You might see it a bit better there. See on the right hand side under envelopes, the second to last row, you will see the Luxe with the high pass. Yep, and you've got harmonics, I should say. You've got feedback, you've got a high pass filter, and a whole bunch of stuff in there, a folder and all that sort of stuff. So that is the variant that they're talking about on this one, and I guess that will bring some niceness to that. No details on price or anything like that, and they haven't announced when it's going to be available, but that's a little sneak that they've done. Now, Andy, you had a quick look at it at NAMM, at Buchler and Friends. What did you think?
At the very end, he showed me some of the features, but I've seen so much since then I forgot already. It really impressed me at the time. Yeah, it's lack of sleep and a bunch of other stuff, but I also talked to them briefly about the EXT box. Speaking of the little boutique, because it has a power issue. You wouldn't know because you don't try yours on mobile, but if you put the EXT box on a power bank, it will actually fry it. So I told them they need to put circuit protection in their stuff, so a power bank won't fry the EXT box. It won't fry the boutique itself, but it will fry the EXT box.
Okay.
So.
Good to know. All right. I'm just going to make sure that Steve knows that we still love him. That's why I brought this one in. Yes, we know you're still there, Steve. I don't know if I can fit anyone else up on during the news, but I can add. Why don't I put you up for a little bit? Chris has had a go.
I'll step out.
Chris has had a go. Steve, you can have a go now. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is, I love these things. You guys know that I love showing this matrix stuff. This is Eurorack modular, if you're wondering. This is by a company called AI Synthesis. No, they didn't do my stinger. This is the VC Matrix Mixer, AI028. The AI028 voltage controlled matrix mixer has 6 outputs with 36 linear VCAs to control how much each input is fed to each output with a 0 to 5 volt capacity, I think you would call it. The module can distribute audio and or control voltage and has the dedicated 5-volt output for use with passive or active attenuators for manual volume control, which is really cool. Now, there is a video, and it goes for 5 minutes. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, either are you, but we can have a little look at the start of it, and we can then have a comment afterwards. I'm just going to disappear you for a sec. Sorry, Steve. It was a quick sort of cameo from you, mate. All right, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to my first demo of the AI28 voltage-controlled matrix mixer. On the left, we have 6 inputs, numbered 1 through 6. On the bottom, we have 6 outputs, lettered A through F, and we also have this dedicated 5-volt out. Each of these jacks in between is a node, and it accepts a 0 to 5 volt control voltage that will send the signal that cascades in left to right into the mix going down. So if I put 5 volts here, then input 1 will go to output B at full volume. If I put 5 volts in here, then input 4 will go to output E at full volume. It works with control voltage as well, and the inputs are protected. So you can put in something that has negative voltage, it won't affect the amplitude of
Here we go, he's going to do it now.
Sidechainy thing. And I'm also going to send that to the delay, but attenuate it a little bit to give it some movement. Then I'm going to send the kick drum to the output. Then I'm going to send bass to the delay.
So I don't know if you guys are kind of picking up on what it really truly is. I think it's kind of like an insert / patch bay type. That's the easiest way I feel that most people would understand how this would work. I know that you can do some funky things with control voltage and attenuation on it as well, but if that kind of floats your boat, I think it should, because just being able to patch something in simply without having to sort of think too much. I mean, you're looking at the ins going in on the left and the outs going in down the bottom on the right. Left to right. And I kind of feel like you're just following, okay, I want that to go to there. It's, you know what I mean? It's just a routing thing. It's pretty clever. So,
Focus.
Yeah. VCAs, €329 is the price. I believe it is available now. So, any thoughts, guys?
Yes, I'd have seen some of these guys' modules before. Regrettably, I haven't bought one. But they've done quite a lot of kits for a while, so that's why they've been on my radar. They've tended to do modules that are very sort of quite sparsely laid out, and I just wasn't into the sparse layout thing back then. I was more into saving space. But their stuff's been around for quite a long time, so this seems a different product for them, and exciting for them, I think, because it's probably going to do quite well. It does have a lot in common with many other similar concepts, but this one's very pure in that, it's not trying to do anything else. It just gives you literally the patch points, and you've got to create the possibilities are basically completely under your control, and it's not trying to lead you anywhere. And it's simple enough that you don't kind of get lost, because the matrix mixer can get very confusing. Mainly because when they try to combine different features into the module, I find that it gets very confusing. Whereas this, I quite like the fact that this is just really simple and straightforward, and it doesn't do anything else other than what it says on the tin.
Indeed. Nice little wrap. Anyone else want to have a crack at that? Who's interested in these sort of things? Steve, you're a bit of a Euro head.
I am. I don't really know at this stage, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it's for me right now. But
no worries.
Yeah, I'm just trying to busy getting stuff together, really, rather than manipulating stuff. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm just looking at your setup there, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, right now, for you to do sort of fancy patching, you're going to have to double up connections with the wire splitters or buff malts or passive malts. And that's kind of the way you're going to do it, right, at the moment.
Yeah, I think the VCA aspect of it is good. I like that aspect of it, so it's good. I mean, when I first started with modular, I just threw all the money at getting different oscillators and didn't really think it through, to be fair. And I ended up with virtually no modulation other than the odd LFO and stuff like that, which wasn't good enough. Which is why I went for the Acid Technologies Maestro thing, because that gives you I think it's eight channels of modulation to do with what you want. So that's good. And so it's just relearning everything, because it is a bit of a learning curve, a lot of this stuff, which is why I got my black sheet on the wall over there.
Fair enough.
From Pro Wheel Company, which was great. So the VCA aspects of it is good. I've got a few VCAs from America Synths, but I need more stuff like that, because I've got so much sort of so many oscillators and stuff. I just need more supporting stuff like the envelopes and VCA, the filters and modulation stuff, because I just threw myself into this modular without really thinking it through, because I just loved the aspects of it at the time. But I think that's why I'm struggling so much with it at the moment, the fact that maybe I'm missing a few things, and I still watch the videos. So
you've probably got to a stage which I got to at one stage. I can't remember when, but I had some sort of disarray with my setup, and I think it was probably when I decided that I was going to make myself those custom-made cases, because I thought that was going to lead me to sort of reorganizing myself in a different way. But actually, all it's done is it's given me another benefit. It did give me a chance to reorganize myself, but I still haven't really. I mean, you can still do the same thing with any case. It's just whether they're closer together or split across a few different cases. It doesn't really make any difference. But what I find is that you end up kind of changing your mind about what block of modules you want to do and their function, and how they sort of communicate with each other, audio and CV wise. And I think that's probably something that I got over pretty quickly. Instead of just saying, I'm just going to set it up like that and forget it, and just keep it there in the same spot forever. And I thought to myself, because that becomes too rigid, and it doesn't work with the whole concept of why I got into Eurorack in the first place. And that is that whole flexibility of mixing anything with anything, the chaos flexibility, right?
Experimenting.
Yeah. So I think once you kind of get used to pulling modules out and putting modules in, moving them around, pairing them with things, getting them getting them intimate with other modules, getting them sitting next to each other, and becoming friends, that sort of stuff. I feel kind of like that's where you start to realize, holy crap, what you were saying before. I need more VCAs, I need more LFOs, I need more, and these things,
clear.
You don't need like a million of them. You just need enough to be able to route them and understand what. So in a sense, these matrices, there's a million different ways you can do this, right? And I kind of don't necessarily love the idea of it being one module and everything's sort of, like octopus hands going into the one spot and then sprouting back out. I do tend to like the ARP 2500 theory, where you could, if you wanted to, you could actually set up your case and you could have like sort of routing modules down the sides on the edges of your cases, and then you can patch into those, and then they could patch out somewhere else, or patch in vice versa. So you could do a bit of both. I feel that's not gonna not hurt you. So yeah, these are there. I guess there's, like Chris said, there's a million of different options with matrix mixers now. One of the things you can do with this, you guys have seen those passive cable-based attenuators, right? Where you literally have a cable, in the middle of the cable is the little potentiometer or knob, if you want to call it, for Daren.
I make them. I make them myself.
Yeah, they're really easy to make. This particular module loves that. So that's basically because this is a 0 to 5 volt. So if you think about any synthesizer that has a VCA, right, and you've got that, if you're putting an envelope into that VCA, that envelope amount is the same thing as a 0 to 5 volt range. So if you think about it, that it takes away some of the stupidity that we have with trying to understand engineering terms when it comes to synthesizers. And I feel like if you just patch a little attenuator cable into it, it then becomes kind of a cool thing. So yeah, personally, I feel like this is probably missing maybe some sort of expander, and that could have some attenuators built into it and some other ideas. I don't know if it's in the mix for him, but yeah.
The other approaches tend to put a pot where he's put the jacks. It's different philosophy, but it isn't. I know what you mean. It kind of would be nice if there was a companion module that went with it, kind of turned it into that if you wanted it to be, or just one row would be great. If you could just say, I want this row breaking out to a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pots. It'd be great.
6 pots, and then you can control them. But don't forget too that if you did take away the connections on this, then you're not getting the benefit of the insert theory with this as well. So if you're using this as an audio feature, because it's a VCA, you can use this as an insert, which he showed in his video. So you can actually bring like effects into it, and it kind of becomes a routing system as well.
Solution.
God, I mean, it's just such a simple thing, but it actually creates so many possibilities in your system.
I think that's the beauty of the simplicity of that design, which is it's kept it so pure that it's simple enough for you to be able to take it as a sort of a basic principle and then take it further, rather than getting confused by all of the built-in solutions that are on a lot of these other versions of it.
Sorry, Chris was talking then, and he wasn't in the corner. Here he is. That was the person that was talking just then. Sorry,
voice
bad producer. Let's go across to the next product. This is the latest thing from Arturia, the Arturia Pigments version 6. Wow, they've come a long way with this. I actually wrote some. I wrote some notes on this. During the weeks, so what I don't know if you guys know this, but what I do is when stuff comes across my desk, I watch the videos just like all you guys do, but at the same time, I also want to find out some sort of quick way to, if it's a product that's already got another version out before, a quick way to help you guys understand, why would I buy this upgrade? If I've already got Pigments, what's in it for the new one? Why should I spend the coin? And the coin, by the way, for this is $199 normally, but they're doing an intro for $99, so you're getting it for half price basically at the moment. So what's new? And we can even play a little video if you like in a sec, but let's talk about my understanding. The modal sound engine is the big one. That's what's new. It's based on a physical modeling synthesis system which simulates if you don't know what that is, it simulates physical objects with an emphasis on natural behaviors and organic responses. And this thing really does go to town with that. Maybe you guys might want to judge to see how good of a physical modeling system it is. But what it does have, it has an engine which is composed of 2 exciters. And I'm just going to move Chris out the way just for a sec so that you guys can see. In fact, why don't we... no, we're not going to do that. It'll be silly if I do that. We'll leave it like that. I'll actually show you guys the pigments in a second, and we'll talk about it. The engine is composed of 2 exciters, as I said. They're on the left and the right sides. The exciters are elements or objects that initiate a vibration or a motion in a resonator. And the resonator is then the thing that produces the sound. And that resonator has kind of all these little parameters and features inside, that realm. For example, there's a collision exciter, which is like a percussive type of striking sort of exciter, and that has 3 modes. You can have have external audio going through it. You can have a transient sort of feature, or you can have a collision mode. And there's the friction exciter, which is a more sustained sort of striking sound, and that has 4 modes. It has noise, granular, friction, and then also, again, you can put external audio through it. And there are 2 resonator types that you can use. There's a string and a beam, and these offer different harmonic behaviors, which goes through a bandpass filter. So if you guys know a little bit about how you do synthesis of physical modeling, it's kind of, we've already mentioned some of these keywords like resonators and bandpass filters and things like that, and then you have to have something that gives it sort of an attack and sound, and it has to be struck fast, or it has to be plucked slow. These are little physical things that we see in nature when we're playing audio, right? Then, so outside of that, you've now got revamped filters. They've got a multi-mode filter now, which has a drive control. There's a cluster filter. This is cool. The cluster filter, I will see if I can show you in the video, has the ability to stick between 1 and 5 filters on the same cutoff point, and then it peaks them using this little spread control. So you're kind of getting these little peaks, right? But it separates them and closes them together again at the same cutoff level, and you're getting this really cool cluster effect on filters. It's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like a crazy multi-notch. That would probably be the way I would describe it. And then you've got a new lo-fi filter on here, which has got a degradation type, effect in it. So if you like that sort of stuff, I think everyone's into lo-fi at the moment, so that's why you're seeing it feature and everything. The other thing which surprised me, this has got a vocoder in it now. So Pigments is now a vocoder, and you can cross-modulate Pigment sounds with different modules, including the new physical modeling system, and the new filter options, and then you can have external audio coming in, like your voice, and you can vocode your way into physical modeling or into those crazy filters. And there's a few other features that I've upgraded and fixed as well. Let's have a quick look at their video, and we'll go and have another even quicker look at the system itself. There we go, peeps. That's it. That is the new Pigments. Before we go across to the Mac, and we'll have a quick look at that, let's get some people's thoughts. I'm going to go over to this view so we can get everyone's thoughts. A pretty decent software update, I say. It's pretty much a new piece of software with those new features. Worth $99. Who wants to have a crack at this first?
I mean, my first question is it MPE? I think it
was before, so I would say
so it should still be.
Yep.
I want this, but I want it in a hardware version. I want to be able
Don't we all?
Yeah, I don't want to take it on a laptop to a gig, which is what I'd have to do. Actually, I've just logged into my account, and it's been offered to me for 49 euros,
Wow.
which is really cheap. And do I need another software synthesizer? Not really, but at that sort of price, I might just stick my head in. Yeah, no, it's definitely in my wheelhouse. But like I say, I want a hardware version of it. So Arturia, if you're listening, make it into hardware, and I'm your man. I bought it. You know.
All right. I have to say, Ian, it's my favourite Arturia software synth.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've sold it to me, then I'll be buying it.
It's always been cool.
Yeah. I've got 18 days to choose to make my mind up, so I won't do it today.
Do you guys want to have a look at it? I mean, I'm
yeah.
I have not. I literally, you guys can back me up here. I literally just installed this 5 seconds before the show started, right? So
Yes, it was doing it.
please don't judge and all that sort of stuff. You know, disclaimers are out. All right, here it is. This is the Pigments.
Yeah.
So, these are the where are they? These are the engines here, the modal engines down the bottom.
Cool.
Do you guys need me to zoom in on this sort of stuff so you can see it better? So you can have, just with Pigments before, you always had the two engines. They added this utility engine in a previous update, so it's kind of like a modulation and other feature engine too. So technically these are your two main ones, and then utility. So that's the modal system there. Do you remember how I was saying before how it's got the exciters, and you've got different types of collisions, so you can click on these. You've got transients, audio input, so that's your collision exciter. You've got where's the other stuff? The
string's a resonator, isn't it?
That's the resonator there, but that's how you get beam and string. That's your different types of resonator.
Yep.
There. So it doesn't sound like... I think we're probably going to have to do patches. I feel...
Demo patches.
Yeah, demo patches. So let's see if they've got any... Yeah, bells would be possibly... what could be some sort of... There's a vocoder here. You got acoustic winds. So let's go double click, and I think it takes us straight to that. And you can see that's wavetable based. So that's not... is there a way we can find out?
Can you types tab? That might be a filter for filtering out. Oh no, that's the type of sound.
Styles.
Yeah.
Banks, maybe.
Engine
No,
would be
go
a
Pigment
nice tab.
6. Let's do Pigment 6.
Yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
a wooden oracle.
Mallets.
That's modal. There we go.
Bingo. So there's a wooden beam being struck by a...
Oh, that sound. I mean, I don't know if it's coming through YouTube.
That sounds great.
That actually sounds amazing.
That does sound great.
really does. One of the things that I love about physical modeling is that you can actually get things, if you know what you're doing, you can actually get things to sound really, really cool. Yeah, this is another one. Rattle tone. That's a bit of aftertouch happening on the key step there to do that. You could spend hours on this. I definitely recommend. I've just downloaded the free trial version, guys. That was just the free trial version. Go check it out, and if you like it, buy it. If you don't, it hasn't hurt anyone, has it? Yeah, Pigments.
I suppose it's only the only synth that comes close is probably Roley's Equator 2, which is the same full price at 200 quid. No, I don't have Equator 2. I have Equator 1 on a laptop, but that's going to be its real competition, I think.
Well, don't forget, Pigments kind of first started out as more of a granular wavetable type synth. That was its first real sort of calling, and now it's added this physical modeling and vocoder to it, so it's kind of bloating into interesting places.
Really,
No, I mean, the Osmos can do some of this with the hockey.
Yeah, it came out.
But,
it came out when Iris 2. Was it Iris 2 was around?
Yeah,
the first Pigments
right.
one.
Oh, yes, I've still got that actually. Iris.
Iris is good.
Again on my laptop. Yeah, because it's discontinued now. Iris, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just sort of Native Instruments own it now. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Or is it Focusrite? I always forget which one bought them out.
It's Native Instruments, I think.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's Pigments. We can revisit.
I've been sold.
We can revisit Pigments if you guys like. Give me a chance to play with it, absorb it, things like that.
It'll be on my list when I get my new computer. So
I'll probably upgrade. To be fair, because I love physical modeling, and I haven't seen very many hardware synths that do physical modeling an easy way. There's hardware synths that do physical modeling, don't get me wrong, but they don't do it in a way which allows you to manipulate it or edit or sound design in an easy way. And so then kind of my sort of journey with physical modeling is I ended up sort of physical modeling through mutable instruments in eurorack land. That's kind of where, with rings and things like that, that's kind of where I went. And then, I mean, that's a very basic physical modeling model, if anything, but I found that a very easy, simple system to use because
Elements is good. It's bonkers. It gives you a lot of control.
Yeah, Elements is cool. But the problem with a lot of these sort of systems is how well does the interface bring you into actually manipulating your own designs. I guess it's up to you guys to decide. Right. Next. Okay, what have we got next? I need to go to a different screen here. And I think it's Steve's turn to go in the corner. It's not like you're in the naughty corner though, Steve, all right? So just... all right. Just let me just quickly pop you off for a sec because you can see what it's called. Midimalism. Midimalism is the name of this little product by Captain Credible. Yes, it is a credible product. It is a very small boy. These are literally his words. This is tiny, this thing. And what it is, it's a little USB MIDI controller with two knobs, two buttons, one mini jack, and a DIY sensors and this is his words, DIY sensors and shit. This guy's got a real way of words. To make it
technical.
Yeah, to make your own DIY sensor, you connect it to a potentiometer and construct some other voltage dividers and all sorts of stuff like that. The tip of a mini jack is +5 volts, a sleeved ground, and so basically this is kind of like a hacky sort of MIDI thing. Okay, there is a video, but I'm trying to work out with this video if he actually uses this thing at all. We'll have a look anyway. Good to see some newer sort of Roland gear in there.
Yes, Rollers. I see Rollers.
What's that thing on the bottom left, guys?
It's a 10 bitbox. Ooh.
You're on the right track.
Bitbox something.
Tell us in chat if you recognise it.
Yeah, it looks familiar. I can't remember the name of it.
It's not Salamander.
That Midimalism thing doesn't look like it's connected.
He hasn't connected it at all, has he? He's just put this video up. Yeah. So anyway, big shout out, big shout out to Captain
It
Incredible.
balances his desk. It
Yeah.
balances the image.
Big shout out to him anyway. We'd just like to know more about this. Thank you very much. Right, let's keep going.
Looks cool.
Laser
Oops,
cut.
go back.
It's always good.
What's happened here? There it is. I know it's a little
There it
bit
is.
slow. The Tiptop Audio Programmable Pulsar Model 242T. Whew. Have you guys seen this video for this? This is a really kind of like, how do I even sort of start
it
with this
deep?
stuff? It's kind of weird but cool, but like, what the hell? Anyway, what it is, it's according to Tiptop Audio, it's an essential module for creating rhythmically intricate patches for your 200T Eurorack. Now, if you guys don't know what a 200T system is, it's a Eurorack buchla basically that Tiptop Audio brought out. Something that I've been meaning to start to delve down, because it is because before Eurorack, buchla wasn't really a Eurorack sort of system, but it is now with Tiptop Audio. Anyway, let's have a look at the video and we'll see what, I guess, interesting things come at play here. I mean, other than it being a massive ad for a lot of Tiptop Audio products, basically it's a demonstration of an audio, what these guys are doing with this patch module. But if you're trying to work it out, I'm sort of trying to get my head around. It's going to kind of got start, stop, these period things, which seems to have an attenuator on it, and then you've got these kind of different altering things and a matrix, and then it all goes out and in, and it kind of manipulates CV and triggers in a sort of feedback loop sort of way, is kind of what they're going for. And the interesting thing is you've got that little LED matrix below which show you what's going on. So the A, the B and the C corresponds to the matrix connections, and you know, the numbers are like steps.
Oh yeah, I think it's got buffers, hasn't it? It's got like shift registers or registers of some kind.
There's a big on-off button
12-bit.
down the bottom as well, which would set the thing off, right? So other than that, I'm kind of scratching my head thinking this is pretty cool, but what does it do? So you know, obviously we need to know more information from Tiptop. Unless there's people who know about this buchla stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not pretending that I know about it. So
It's from the buchla world.
yep, hieroglyphics to me. But I'm interested, definitely interested. Anyone want to comment on this? I don't know if any of us here are buchla people. Andy, I thought you had some buchla stuff, didn't you?
I will. Well, I have buchla wannabe stuff like the Zero Coast and the Pico System 3, and the vocal modular. But I will be getting a system of this stuff eventually. I just can't afford it now.
Are you going to go down the Tiptop Audio route? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's the only way. I can't afford the real buchla, or even the Mark Verbo stuff is too expensive. So it's.
I'd love to get into buchla, and in fact, I looked at the easel, but it's just pricey. It's just so pricey. I can't really justify that.
You can get the stripped down easel. It's a little cheaper, but it's still a lot of money.
There is a Behringer thing coming out. So it's
What is
called
it?
the Enigma.
Now
That'll
that
be
I'd be
buchla-ish.
interested in.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's apparently going to be launched this year sometime. So they've already done the prototyping and testing.
If you make it, they will steal. So.
Well, you know,
yeah.
the whole world is full of copy this and copy that. Just
Yeah, it's
like I said before, go to Hong Kong, have a look.
I
You
know.
can, you
but
can
they're
buy
just so
an
blatant about it.
iPhone in Hong Kong.
Well, I have an Apple Watch that's $20 from Amazon. So.
There you go. So you know exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm literally looking at this stuff saying, this is cool, like I love this sort of stuff, but I know nothing about it. I just thought I'd mention it. It's a new product from Tiptop. I do love Tiptop Audio. They make some good stuff. So big shout out to them. Right, next. Oh, this stuff, didn't this get me interested during the week?
Ooh.
Wow. This is really, really cool. So this particular company is Vaemi. They're from Turkey, I believe. Now there's 3 products I'm going to show you from these guys. Sorry if I have pronounced your company's name incorrectly, but it's Vaemi. I'm pretty sure that's Vaemi or Vaemi. Anyone have a Turkish pronunciation up on board here? We don't have Andy, do we? Anyway, no. They've released this thing called the Mixer module. It's called a mini mixer. It is. There was quite a lot of information about this thing, and I didn't realize how much this thing can do, and it kind of looks a lot more simpler than what they're talking about. But anyway, it's a mono analog mixer with 4 channels. They've got 3.5mm jacks with the inputs and outputs, and it's designed for use on like a small sort of performance type sort of setup, like a DJ stage type thing, EMOM, that sort of stuff. Hey, Daren. And
oh, yes.
You can.
I was just looking at it and I'm thinking.
Each channel features saturation function and has been specifically designed for jack input for the 4th channel. Now, to talk about this 4th channel a bit, the 4th channel and jack inputs are empty. The mixer's master output is then rerouted to the inputs, creating a feedback circuit. This feature allows the sound gain to increase by approximately 6 times, significantly raising the saturation level of the mixer. And if the instrument is connected to the 4th channel, the feedback signal is disabled and the jack is plugged in. So it's kind of like a sort of a summing thing, what I'm getting. And then the 4th channel is kind of like a disconnect. But anyway, then you've got this muting ability, right? So the feedback then, when I think they're the buttons down the bottom of the muting, right? When the channels are muted, the feedback then enters self-oscillation. So this is kind of weird. Like this is a mixer, yes, but they're using it in a way to sort of create sounds. This is really cool.
Have you seen those guys who do sound generation with mixers?
With mixers,
just
yeah.
Mixers. I think this is this kind of street.
It is
that we're talking.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more.
Cool. It uses feedback. Yeah.
What I'll say to you guys, there's a link down below, which you can see from my blog article. That actually automatically gets posted up about 2 hours after the show finishes. Go check it out. There's literally a wall of text. You can go read about it. Let's have a look at the video because I feel like we need to have a listen to it. Who wants to? Oops. Here we go. Self-oscillation. There it is. Wow, there you go, boys and girls. Now, this is the surprising part. The price. It's $49 US as a kit.
Wow.
Oh, right, yeah.
or $89 if you want, Daren, and they'll assemble it for you. It's cheap.
Not me personally going to assemble it.
I don't know if I got that right, but that's insane. That is so cheap.
Almost reasonable. It's like clearly these people don't know what the hell they're doing.
I'm gonna have another look on their website. Yep, $49. $49. You select full DIY kit. It's $49 US.
Good on
or
them.
you select assembled. It's $89, and then it's postage obviously on top of that, boys. But that is insane. That is an insanely cheap thing. And I thought that was kind of like a cool little funky thing. Look, I know sometimes this glitchy sort of distorted sound may not be up your alley, right? And
It's not for me.
I'm pointing a finger at you, Ian.
No, it's not. It's definitely not for me.
But there's a lot of people out there right now who are really
there are.
into this. They're really into this. So now, as I said to you, there's more products. What we'll do is we'll get through all three of their products that these guys, and you saw them in the video anyway. So, but we're going to go through them all, and then we'll have a chat about the whole lot. The next thing is this thing called the Kraakdoos, which is Cracklebox, aka. This thing is like a experimental thing, first developed by this guy called Michael Varsvitz in the 70s. The device actually makes interesting electronic circuits fun, unconventional, as played through its touch-sensitive surface. When you complete the circuit with your fingertips, it starts producing sound and tone, intensity, rhythm, changing according to your touch. Their design, the Vaemi design, is kind of like a play on their setups. So you have this sort of transformer isolated line output, and you have a speaker in it with external output options. You have touch controls which respond to your user touch. And let's have a look at the video. There's another video. So exciting. Here we go. Ian's getting his credit card out right now.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Anyway, I don't think we need to
meant
go
to
into
make
this.
that noise.
Yeah. Do you guys remember playing? I don't know if you. I used to do these little fun electronic kits when I was younger.
Yeah.
And there was definitely something along the lines of this. I'm not talking about theremins and things like that. I'm talking about little electronic things that we used to do as kids in the 80s.
That sounds like me trying to solve something that I've never done before whilst the electric's on.
It actually sounded like the old days when you used to get the Nokia mobile phone too close to the speaker. That's what it sounded like. Do you remember that? All right, let's keep going. The next...
That'd be me saying, I fixed your synth, what do you think?
This will be.
I think it needs to be sent to Kent, mate. Yeah.
An ad for Kent,
Yeah.
All right, the next one. Let's get through the three, and we'll have a chat about them. Atari Punk Console is the last one. I can tell you a little bit about it. I think you guys have pretty much worked it out. It's a little sort of bit. What do you call it? Chiptune synth. Okay.
Chiptunes.
There's two oscillators on this. It does have. You can see on the. It's got CV controls and everything. It's actually pretty cool. Let's check it out.
It is a famous circuit.
It is.
It is a famous circuit.
Let's check it out. Is that D-beam?
LVR.
There's another product that I haven't been talking about.
Step sequencer.
Anyway, Daren, part bench compatible. All of these products are.
This could be my set tonight.
Yeah, part bench compatible.
I could do this tonight.
Yeah. All right, let's go across to us. We'll talk about the whole lot. I'm going to take Chris off because he's on twice now.
The only problem is they might kick you off the part bench.
Daren, what do you think? Part bench compatible. You could just plug all these things
all day.
It's not. I know there's some e-mamas out there that'll like this type of stuff for making noise and stuff. It's not what I sort of do, or I'm a bit like Ian. It's not up my street, but I like the idea that it's quite cheap, small, and part bench compatible. But I think if I was trying to do it on a part bench, I'd get kicked off.
All right. They are battery powered if you want, 9 volt to 18 volt.
9 volt, yeah.
Yeah, portable battery.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, it's like I say, it's not up my street like Ian's. It's a bit too much out there. But I know some e-moms, and I've seen some e-moms where this sort of stuff will go down quite well. They like this sort of glitchy, grainy, dirty, microchippy noisy.
I think if you mix
reverb on it,
if you mix it with other things, it can be interesting. But on its own, it sounds tedious and boring to me. But hey ho. In fact, tonight I am using
reverb and delay.
Thomas, exactly, that's what it needs. My Thomas the Tank Engine.
A lot.
So I'm doing a bit of sort of glitchy, weirdness with that, amongst other things. But lots of delay, lots of other stuff going on. You know.
I do want to remind everyone that when those Atari sounds came out, the next thing that came out was a Commodore 64, and it had the SID chip in it, and it literally knocked everyone's socks off. So we were quite peed off with the lack of quality of the sounds out of those Atari things.
But I grew up with the Atari 2600. I love those sounds. So I mean, they're not getting all of them out of this one. I actually have the Atari Punk eurorack module. That's kind of limited, but it's kind of fun. But that one sound he played, the sweepy sound, it sounds like right out of Karateka, the game Karateka on the Apple II. So,
well, they're using that circuit. It does talk about it. Now that's a cool thing. If you guys buy the DIY kit, you can actually study the circuit as you're putting it together. So $49 US, and it's all yours to tinker away with your soldering iron. What about you, Steve? Are you into these little sort of module boxes and take up myriads of desktops?
No, not at all. I like more musical type stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. No, I know people love that chip tune stuff, but I think it belongs in the 80s.
Are we just a bunch of grumpy old men or something? Are we? Is that what we are?
No, I think we're forward-looking grumpy old men.
No, I love Atari sounds. Atari sounds great.
Yeah,
we've heard all that. And
get off my lawn.
Yeah. I mean, it was good at the time, but I don't know. I think.
Whose is that? Is that yours, Chris? Yeah. There you go.
That was something inspired in eurorack, inspired by the Atari sound generator.
There you go. Yeah. Let's keep moving on. Big shout out to Vaemi for those cool little boxes. I'm sure there's people out there that would love this sort of stuff, especially at that price. It's a no-brainer. Exactly. You're not hurting anyone by getting these.
Absolutely.
Right, maybe your ears. Now, the next thing that came across my desk was this thing, the Nozoid, pronounce that, Kagouyar. These are French, these guys. Now, don't get too excited with this. This is going to be one of these limited edition jobbers. I think they're only going to make 70 of them. The reason for this limited editionness of them is because apparently the components that they're putting into these are no longer available anymore. And that kind of just want to sort of put that out there first.
So when they break, good luck fixing it.
What happens if it breaks? Exactly, Andy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
I don't really get that. But anyway, maybe the components are swappable for something that's not quite the same. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm sure these guys will tell us why. There is a video. We'll have a quick look at the video in a sec. This is a digital drone synthesizer. with a compact backpack type design. So this is apparently the size that you can fit into your backpack. It features 4 voices of polyphony with 3 oscillators per voice. Each oscillator has an atypical waveform selection with modulation, but also includes your standard sinus waves and squares. Digital generators offer a chaotic variation of other choices, including 3 controls can modulate the amplitude, frequency, phase, waveform, and much more. There's a multi-mode 24 dB low-pass filter. There's 7 LFOs, mod matrix, which you can see down the bottom, which has a tactile touch switch, 2 audio effects to choose from: distortion, wave shaper, echo, Doppler. The UI, you would have noticed by looking at it, because you've been staring at it for the last couple of minutes, is no menu diving. It is a knob, or what do you call function? Simultaneous touch. Yeah.
Knob for her function. Yeah.
That is it. Yeah. Synthesizer relies on discontinued electronic components, as I mentioned before, which is why they're limiting it to a maximum of 70 units. It runs on the Electrosmith Daisy Seed DSP chipset, and the code is open source. So there's the cool thing about it. So you can buy this, and then you can download the code and you can hack it. There is a vid. Let's have a look at this video and have a listen. This is annoying because it's a Vimeo vid, but we'll try our best. Here we go.
I like the Gatsby font they put on there.
Yeah, it's all sort of Art Deco.
Yeah.
Lots of reverb.
Oh, it's got a built-in... this is the audio coming straight out of it. It does have a built-in echo.
Yeah, it has 2 effects.
Interesting interface, isn't it? Anyway, there's a massive, big, long video which I'm not going to go through. Just one thing before we sort of get into everyone else's opinion on this. Let's just throw the issue aside about the limited edition side of it. Let's just talk about this as a design. One thing I thought was interesting was when he touches those little sort of circles above the potentiometers, why didn't he go with a contact-based potentiometer like you get on the MPCs and quite a lot of other synths? Because you would have achieved the same result and probably saved a bit of space on your UI. I'm not sure. And one other point is it's 1,099 euros if you want it. Who wants to go first? The Kagouyar.
I mean, Novation uses those touch pots, and they can raise the price quite a bit potentially.
Yeah,
so
that's fun.
Yeah,
may not have been in their wheelhouse with respect to manufacturing.
Yeah. Speaking of touch, that is your next clue for the synth quiz.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I'm saying that again. Your next clue for the synth quiz is touch.
I'm not sure what to say about it. I mean, it's a nice drone synth. I like the touch effects and everything, but I'm a bit. I mean, 1,099 and it's limited edition. I suppose it's not that bad really, because a lot of limited edition stuff's even more than that. But I still can't get over the fact that after 12 months, if your warranty's run out, I mean, how are they going to repair it if certain things go? That's the other thing I can't get over. It's like, here's a nice instrument, and you're limited to when it will stop working. And I know we shouldn't be getting focused on that. It's the actual synth itself, but it's just sort of, that's all I see.
Kind of scratching my head about that, Daren, because in one sense, he's saying that, which is good that he's being honest about it and everything. But in the other sense, he's also saying this thing's done on the Daisy platform, and that's quite a modern, thing. There's a lot of synths that have been developed on that now. So the Daisy Seed is by Electrosmith. You can go and check it out. There's a whole bunch of free stuff. I think Chris and I have talked about it before.
I talked about it at the top of the show.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a. I don't know. I like the look of it, and I think it's a drone synth at the end of the day, and it's interesting. But that's what I mean. I just don't know what more to say about it, to be honest.
Mm.
It's a bit. It's nice. It's different. 1,099 limited edition, 70 of them. I can see why it's that price. But I'm not a full-on drone. Although I must admit I was looking at drones then, but not that price. Yeah, I think that's my opinion.
There's plenty of other drone synths out there
just
for
not
cheaper
more.
than that, Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope he does more than what we heard, because I was underwhelmed by what I heard, really.
The video goes for ages. You go check out his. If you guys want to see it, the link will be in the blog article, which is in a couple of hours. You'll be able to see that. And the video goes for ages. They're all on Vimeo. I don't know why I didn't put them on YouTube, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Some people are against YouTube, I guess. This guy is French, by the way. Nothing against the French. But yeah.
No.
Don't start that again.
Not going.
My daughter's learning. She's in her second to last year at high school. She's learning French. She's doing like the university level French. So she's actually going there this year. So I don't have any problem with that.
Très bon.
Très bon. Oui, d'accord. Right, so that is it for products. I warned you guys, there's a crap load of products this week, wasn't there? There was a lot.
Yeah.
Who thought that NAMM, you're going to have little crickets afterwards? Everyone's going to stop making synths until, what's it, the next thing? Probably the next big thing would be Super Booth, right, in May.
Yeah.
But, there was a lot of Buchla friends, but not everybody can make it there, so,
I did like your video on
manufacturers,
Buchla, Andy.
I did too.
I enjoyed your video.
Oh, thanks.
I haven't gotten up there yet.
Suzanne's.
The only problem with Buchla and Friends were, this is not a criticism of Buchla and Friends at all, was that the products that they were showing there are stuff that we've already seen in some way or another. Like on social media, we've seen some companies announced that they're making that. Yeah. So the benefit of Buchla and Friends was that people got to go and have a look at it and touch it and feel it.
There are a few oddball ones there. That one looks like a zigzaggy box. I forgot who made it, but it looks like it's kind of lightning bolts on the side.
I've seen that before, though.
You have? I haven't seen that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not particularly interested in going to NAMM, but I was definitely interested in going to Buchla and Friends.
Right.
I'd have much rather gone to that.
You'd be more interested in going to Super Booth, though, right, Ian?
So you are going to get some modular.
You are. No modular.
Ryanair for 35-pound flight to Berlin. Ryanair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I can't go this year.
We have no idea what that's like, Chris.
Yeah.
We showed airfares last week or the week before, whatever it was. It was crazy. Yeah.
I keep saying to my wife that we should go to Berlin for a week, and I want to go round about when Super Bowl's on, so Jane can have a wander around Berlin shopping, and I'll go to Super Bowl. That sounds like a good week to me.
Yeah, could be. All right. Well, I think it's time for this. I think everybody likes this segment more than probably some of the others because we don't do it every week, and there's a reason for it, and that is because we've got to rely on someone submitting a video to the channel and for us to consume. But this week we do have one that's been submitted, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's another Name That Synth, and if you're wondering, if you've never ever heard of what we do during Name That Synth, basically what you do is you watch the video, and during that video, it's a short period of time, usually around a minute, you'll be able to put a guess into chat. You can use any of the platforms, that's fine. And you would have noticed that this segment is sponsored by Plugin Guru, and yes, that's right, you can win a prize. There's only one winner, and that is the correct guess that you can get right. You can win a copy of the software from Plugin Guru, and a few other sort of libraries and things like that come with it, and it's awesome. And it's worth I think it's worth probably about $100. It's not a bad price, to be fair. And that's from Skippy from Plugin Guru, so big thanks to him. And he's been doing this now for probably a good 2-3 years. So good.
Use it, Buchla and friends.
Yeah. Cool. Right. The rules are, they're on my website, ranzee.com. You can go check them out if you want to. But pretty much you get as many guesses as you want, but I'm going to take your first guess, and that's the official guess that you are given. The person that does guess it right before the timer's up has been written into chat is the winner. The first person to guess it right and is the winner. If you do guess after timer's up, unfortunately, you miss out. I am going to do a 30-second trail after I play the video, so you will get 30 seconds longer. I need to find my 30-second thing. Where's that gone? I always forget where my 30-second thing's gone. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, I'll keep an eye on that. Right, let's head on over to this, and we'll press play. And I'll mute all of us.
Three, two, one, go.
We go, get your guesses in. You got 30 seconds. Yep, time is up. Let me just put timers up for everyone else who's on the other platforms. It's going to say it twice. Time is up. There you go. Cool. All right, we have got through that part of it. Let's ooh, we're getting some guesses in. I'm just going to go check on TikTok to see if anyone on TikTok's guessed it. Ooh, TikTok. No, no one's guessed it on TikTok. Okay, cool. All right, should we put everyone out of their misery? What do you reckon, guys?
Please.
Please.
Everyone wants to know what it was. Look, I have to say, this week, I think this one is easily guessable. I think this one's easily guessable. Here we go.
Cool.
It's great. That is cool.
That's very cool.
Right, so
Nice.
Base Station 2, well done. Whoever got that, I think
It's
that
Jamie.
might have
So it's an
been
epic.
Robert Fat Dust Hesh might have got it first.
Oh, yeah.
Robert, you've won yourself a copy of
Unify.
the Plugin Guru Unify and a couple of the libraries that go with it. I'll get you to head on over to ranzee.com. There's a page called Name That Synth, and fill in the form down the bottom, and that way I can capture your contact details and I can send them across to Skippy. Congratulations, mate. Well done. Let's have a quick look in the chat. He did say something. He did say wow. Let's capture that. Good job there, buddy. Good job.
Yeah.
Next Euro Millions.
Oops, that's not the right button. Where was I? There. And then there is the button I want. There he goes. Look, he said wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Jeez, bad with the buttons today. Right. Well, there you go. I know there was a few other people that guessed it. Definitely Jamie from GeoSynths, he got it correctly. And Brett Lemmings said it was a Novation Peak. He's close. So this is the thing I like about you guys. You guys are close, and that means you know your synths. And this particular Name That Synth, if you're wondering who did it, it was done by me. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of a fighting edge, and the reason why I chose the Base Station 2 is I think just about every single one of us has either had one or heard one quite frequently, so it's a very, very common synth. What was the giveaway, Robert? Was it the AF, what do you call it? The Apex Twin mode?
The blue bit, I think.
APT
AFX mode?
AFX mode, that's
AFX.
it. Yeah.
AFX.
Yeah. Because you would have heard the AFX
Now,
mode.
you
It's
say, Rant,
changing every note. It was changing in a patch.
you say, Rant, that well, you like our, because we're all, our synths and everything, and yet quite a few of us on there just went, I haven't got a clue.
Yes, I don't feel so bad because I've never owned one. So
No, I've never played one either.
so
I've got
I don't
the
feel so
rack
bad
now.
now. Usually it's something I do own and I still didn't guess it. So I'm definitely not the person
Yeah.
to look out for.
Well, there was a few things that I was
don't
trying
have
to
the golden ears.
do to sort of throw you guys, and the first thing was the first note that came out, which is what the first sound you heard from it, was a paraphonic chord, right? And as you guys know, that the Novation Base Station can actually play up to 3 notes in paraphonic.
Not the original version. Once they updated the software, you could.
Yeah, but it's still, this thing's been firmware updated up to
No, I know.
very recently.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, you couldn't do that.
No effects were used other than panning, which you can do on any mixer. So yeah.
The only bit that got me thinking, because I hadn't got a clue like quite a few of us super synth people have, is when you panned down and it went blue. And I was trying to think, the only thing that I could think of was blue was a base station. But it wasn't that I knew it was a base station. I just thought, with something blue, I can only think of a base station.
Yeah.
If it had been the rack, I might have recognised it.
I knew that people would get this straight away because the video that I took was blurry, but it was definitely purposely going across very easily recognisable elements.
Identifiable,
on that synth.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Mine's been tucked away for 2 years, so I forgot what it looks like. So
yeah. Just remember those guys.
I kept saying I wanted to get one.
What's the whole purpose of doing a Name That Synth video? Do you guys remember? It's a cool reason. Why do we do it?
break out the old stuff.
Yep.
That's right.
And you get intimate with the synth that you may not have used for a while, and you have to use all the features of that synth. You have to try and get to know it. I mean, I've had my base station. This is actually 13 years old, I guess. What year did it come out? 2013, 2012, somewhere around there. I've had mine since new. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
And it's still going. So what's interesting about it is I know that synth back to front. And when they brought out some of those extra features with the third oscillator, by the way, it's not really a third oscillator. It's two oscillators that you can play paraphonically, but then you can detune the sub oscillator. So it's technically not playing three notes on the keyboard.
I like the modern Arturias that has two very different filters in it, which is cool.
Yeah, it's got three. Well, technically, it's got three. So it's got 12 dB, 24 dB, and an acid.
Oh, that's right. There are three.
Yeah,
I remember two. Sorry.
Yep. And it's also got a drive and a distortion. So the drive is on the filter and a distortion effect as well. Yeah. Anyway, get your base station 2s out, guys, because you can make some really interesting noise out of it. I think it's probably one of the.
Well, you can get the plug-in version of it.
That's not the 2 though. That's the base station, right?
You now can throw your synth at the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was baiting people. This is a hardware show.
What did the Chatties say? What did they say? Well, guys, if you do want to do a Name That Synth, they're not actually hard. I'll let you know that I only spent probably about 3 hours. Let me sort of qualify that 3 hours. I spent about 3 hours getting the synth out from where I store it, plugging it in, playing around with some patches, making some patches of my own. By the way, what I might do is I will. I'll put those patches up on Patreon. You guys can download those if you're a member of Patreon. Cool. I'll definitely do that. Some of those patches that I made are featured in some of the tracks that I've made, so I'll let you guys have those. I just got to get round to zipping it up and all that sort of stuff for you guys. But yeah, 3 hours to do the video as well. The actual video part itself was pretty quick for me. I just got my mobile phone and made it blurry. That was nard. The making the tune was the hard part. That was the hard part. So yeah, one of the things I do like about the base station 2 though is they're DCOs, so they don't actually need. They can sound very, very analogy, and they are analog, but they can sound detuned as such. But they actually stay in tune. It's a great synth for that. Right. Yeah, so if you want to send in, let me just get it up here. Ranzee.com is the website. Head on over to Ranzee.com. There she is there. Literally go to Name That Synth, which is there on the menu. Click on it and tells you how you can actually submit a Name That Synth video to the channel and we can play it. If you're like Robert, who's just won himself a copy of Unify, you just fill in the winner's registration form down the bottom and that'll go through. There's some terms and conditions, but they're just basically, your standard competition terms and conditions. No problems at all there. What was the other thing I was going to show you? Patreon.com. Actually, I don't need to show it on Patreon. I was going to show you on the Mac. Where are we? Oh, come on, Mac. Wakey. What's that sampler called again? Sorry. Here we go. I've got to load something. Oh, errors were encountered. I'll load. Give me a sec. Here we go. Right. Let's just minimize a whole bunch of stuff. This is on Patreon right now. Let's zoom in a little bit. Decent sampler. And what I've put in the VCZ3B oscillator sound. I'm going to do the A and I'm going to do them both together and you'll get all that. But for now, you can actually have a little play and this is what it sounds like. And it's polyphonic. Now, this is done on purpose so that we go out of tune when we go across octaves. There we go, baby! And it's just what we want. It is very fat. This little decent sampler, by the way, guys, is actually really, really cool. You can muck around with it. It's got reverb and the tone control's like a little mini filter as well. So yeah, that is on the Patreon page. Go check it out. It's for anyone who's a member. So easy peasy. Right. I actually have another surprise for you guys this week. And that is I have been given a beautiful copy of the 80. from Xils-Labs. We showed it last week on the show. Or was it the week before? Forget now. Very recently, anyway. So why don't we get the PTZ camera happening, shall we? Why don't we do that? Hello. He doesn't show his face on television. Hi, Rob. No, just kidding.
Yes.
So this is the 80 by
Not a
Xils-Labs.
dentist.
He's not a dentist. Actually, that's the decent sampler still going there. Let me fix that. Let's just go back to us here. Got to turn the decent sampler off. Quit the decent sampler.
It's missing those little fans that are supposed to be spinning on it.
You're thinking of the old one, mate. You're thinking of the Arturia.
I know. I know. It always cracks me up.
All right, here we go. Let's go back to the Mac. And I do want to show you guys this because I guess there's a couple of things that we should know about this first, and that is this is a lot more than a CS80, but this can be a CS80-ish. It's a digital, emulation of it. But let's have a look at some of the obvious things that you may have sort of picked up on this. You probably already checked out videos on this already, guys, right? But the first thing is that you've got 3 banks of oscillators. 1, 2, 3. You see how I'm enabling and disabling them, right? Which means that you can make your sounds based on the 3 banks. And you'll notice down the bottom here where the presets are, there's 3 rows of those as well. Okay, but what's even cooler is that you can click on that little panel there, and she opens up to this little sort of mixing matrix, right? And that corresponds to the three banks. So
looks like the flux capacitor.
You can actually automate this, right? This can sort of move around between the 3. So if I find a preset, let's find a preset.
Is it morphing the sound of them or the actual settings?
It's going between the 3 settings. The 3.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to find one. It's got 3 on here. There we go. Try oscillator. There we go. I saw one. Try oscillator. Try oscillator. There we go. All right. And also you would have noticed that a panel popped up on top in a sec. I'll tell you what that is in a sec. But if we make a sound, let's do like a little sound like this. Right. And then I've got to use a different mouse key, but I can then go. And I can move between them, and I can also do this. We can do a circle. Make it go faster, slower. We can make it do less, more. We can make it go random. There you go. That's a cool little feature that isn't on a CS80. Eases the 3rd oscillator. Also, you would have noticed across the top here, this little menu here, which I'll come in a little bit closer for you guys to come and check out. I think it's rather nice. You've got modulations, you've got an arpeggiator, and you've got effects. And so in the modulation section, you've got all these cool mod matrix things that you can play with. The arpeggiator is awesome. You can set up different arpeggiator stages here, and then on top of it you have these modulation sort of steps that you can play with here. And I'll show you. I'll actually show you that now. I'll go to a sequenced type patch, or we can do we'll do an ARP patch because it is an arpeggiator, right? So let's just pick any. And you can see there's the arpeggiator. It's already set, and you can see that modulation stuff is set too. You can also see that little baby just moving around already. And let's just do a nice little simple. doesn't sound anything like a CS80, does it? Sounds actually really, really nice. So these are kind of all the little sort of features that you get extra on here. Plus, it's got an effects section here where you've got delay, you've got phaser, reverb, and an EQ. So they're nice. You guys are probably thinking to yourself, what's different about this than some of the other? The Cherry, the Arturia, there's another one. I forget what the other one was now. You guys remember? Arturia, Cherry, and there was one other one that did the CS80. I forget. Geez, who was it? Anyway, doesn't matter for now. Let's see what this sounds like, maybe like a real CS80. Let's go to a brass sound and we'll go to Chariots. I don't know which one is the good one. There you go. It sounds a bit like Chariots of Fire, doesn't it? Let's try the other one. Does sound like a CS80, and I mean, you can turn the effects off. You know, if you don't like effects, you can turn them off. There was a delay on there, just hit the button and it's off now. There's a reverb, turn that off. Whoops, there. Aftertouch is working with it beautifully. The other thing I like about it too, down the bottom here, is you do get a kind of cool little sort of quick access to some of these effects, and you can just toggle them on and off. So you can go between like tremolo and chorus. And so let's say we want the tremolo on. Or we want to have the chorus on. Then we can turn the phaser on. So it's just those little things are very handy. One thing I do like about Xils-Labs is they make really, really good virtual instruments. They're probably one of my favorites. You guys know that I like Arturia. I also like Xils-Labs, and there's not many people that I'm big. You guys know I'm not a massive, huge soft synth sort of guy, and I'm quite picky because I don't like it when people try and sell a product that they make it look like it's a piece of hardware, and I get all sort of butthurt about that stuff. But if they actually do a good job of the software, and I can see benefits as to using a computer to make sound, then I'm for it. And this is one of those sort of corners, like a bit like the Pigments what we showed earlier. This is one of those corners where I can see that you're not going to be able to, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to do this in a hardware synth. You could do it. It would be a massive cost, especially if it was analog. But I feel like this is where the software is excelling. The other cool thing about it is you can have as many instances as this thing as your DAW and your CPU and memory will let you, and it'd be insane. That's what Unify does, by the way, with Plugin Guru. You know, you can sort of manage different patches and that. Questions, I guess. The ring modulators here, everything that you would sort of expect the CS80 to have is here. They do a pretty good job of that stuff. But yeah, questions about it? Do you guys want to ask questions? I mean, have you seen other videos? There's things that you'd like to see, and I've got it here open. I should mention, by the way, before you guys get into questions, also in chat too, by the way, let us know in chat. Highlight my name if you want to ask me a question. The Xils-Labs guys did send me an iLock license for this, and I did mention to them that I'm going to show it on the show, so that's just a bit of letting you guys know. But big thank you to Xils-Labs for doing that, because the way I see it is anything that I can do to help you guys understand a product that's out there on the market, you know, with my limited knowledge, but as a brains trust of all of us, we can play with things, we can try things out while we've got it. A live situation is always good to do that, because you get it warts and all, right? You get the reality of stuff. You don't get that polished, edited video that all the marketers love to see, right? Which, I don't know, I'm starting to not like them, to be fair. I don't know you guys. I watch videos of products and I just go, can you guys just stop it with the crap? Like, just stop trying to like just get to the actual thing. Like, don't waste our time. I've become sort of a bit impatient in my old age.
Yes. You should see my mother.
Yeah, I have seen your mother. By the way, while we're at it, we should mention that the last clue for the synth quiz is 13.2 seconds. That's the last clue. So I've given you 3 clues now. We have had one person make a guess already. I'm just letting that person know that I know about it.
Patch that's 13.2 seconds long.
Well, maybe you guys can work it out. In a sec, we'll go to the synth quiz part of the show, and we'll actually see if anyone wants to make a guess, and we'll give you guys a time limit on that as well. So that's the last clue, and then watch a bit later, and we'll reveal what the actual answer is. Hopefully, you guys are scratching your heads because. You may not have been paying attention, and you're now thinking, "Oh my God, what did he say?" I'm going to have to scroll back and find out what he said. Back to the 80 by Xils-Labs. Who's interested in getting this as a soft synth? I know most of you guys are hard synth guys, but you guys Daren, you do.
Always interested.
Yeah, yes, always interesting. Like I say, I mix between outboard and inboard, but until I get my new computer, I'm not buying any sort of soft synths or soft effects or anything. So unfortunately, things like this I've got to wait on the back burner till my new computer arrives, or till I get the money to it anyway. But yeah, this Omnisphere, there's a few others as well that's on my sort of to get list. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, I use CS80 type sounds as well in my music. There's quite a few times I'm popping into Omnisphere to get some sort of CS80 style, let's put it that way, because everyone's going to say it's not exactly the same, but that sort of vibe, that or the Juno behind me. So this will be on my watch list, and I do like the way they've added the extra bits of being able to actually, I think Omnisphere does a similar thing where you can have like an orbit traveling around between the 3 patch settings. So it's a sort of morphing between your three settings. So that's quite interesting because you can get some nice effects for that as well. And if it's like you say, it's also you can automate that as well, which makes it even more interesting. So yes, so it's on my list. Yes, I will say it's on my list.
There's a Korg synth that's got it in hardware.
And
actually,
yeah. But that's hardware.
See if Ian remembers which one it is.
No, I can't.
The Korg M3.
Oh right, yeah. I had the M1, which is a rack mounted M1R. M1.
Yep.
Is it M1R? Yeah, the rack mounted version. It wasn't quite the same, but
that idea's been around for a long time. The M3 wasn't the first to do it either. So basically, that's like your multi-timbral sort of. It's like a mixer. It's like a crossfading mixer for multi-timbral stuff. But to be able to automate it, and that's pretty cool. I do want to show you something else before we go on to other parts of the show. That is there is actually a patch browser as such. So you would have seen me before. I was looking at patches. I don't know how you close this thing. I think you click done. There we go. So you can look at patches. This is a sort of standard Xils-Lab way of getting through patches this way, right? But you also have the patch browser as well, which is you just literally open preset browser here, and with the preset browser you can filter things by author, it's pretty much the same thing that you saw before, but it's just a bit nicer. But the other cool thing about it is, if I zoom in a little bit, you guys will see it a bit closer, is you can then sort of filter it by stuff, right? So if I want to pluck, I want all the authors, all the feelings, all the styles, all the projects. These are all the plucks, right? But now I might want to go, you know what? I kind of want a 70s pluck sound, and there's one there. Look, and I just click on it, and then there it is there. Or maybe not 70s. Maybe we should go with an acoustic sort of sound. This is a CS80, right? you guys get the idea with that stuff. So I thought that was a nice little touch, and you just click done when you finish with it. You can also, with that, with this little sort of browser thing, you can save tags. So you can click save tag as, and it saves all that sort of stuff and keeps it in memory. So that's pretty cool as well.
I take it's not too CPU heavy neither by looking at it.
Well, I've got a Mac Mini M1. So this is the very, very first Mac Mini that came out, and it's only got a limited amount of memory and all that sort of stuff. I'll let you guys know what I've got about this Mac. Here we go. I have got 16 gig of RAM and an Apple M1 processor on a Mac Mini. So this thing is not exactly powerful, right? And it's like sort of sitting around about 20% CPU, which I'm not sure if it's using Rosetta. I could probably go find out actually. If it's Rosetta, by the way, is the Intel emulation virtualization layer that Apple have made. Because don't forget this, I'm using this at the moment as a audio unit. I could use it as a VST3. It does ship as different sort of plugins, by the way. And I haven't tried it on Windows. I do have Windows. This show's running off Windows right now, so I haven't tried it on Windows to see what it's like. But my Mac M1 is old now. It's they've got M4s out.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say you guys who have got the latest and greatest computers will have no problems with this. Daren, you might struggle with a little bit with your older Mac there. Sorry, buds.
Oh, look, this is why I've not added anything to it. I know it will struggle. I'm surprised. No, touch wood. I'm not surprised. I'm saving. So
control this.
So, but this one's for what I'm using it for at the moment. It's doing fine. It gets my live sets done. It does my music that I need to do. But I do need to update it and update all the stuff. So, I mean, let's face it, I'm still with Ableton 9.7. So,
yeah. I mean, I just think it's a really nice interface. Like that, that's a beautiful looking interface. You can actually make it bigger too. I think there was a
scalable, is it?
There's a scale there, GUI size. So it's at the moment sitting at 50%. So I can make it bigger or a little bit smaller.
Careful, it's going to fall off your desk if you make it too big.
Yeah. So pretty good. Right, I think we're done with the Xils-Labs for a bit. I will probably do a more in-depth video as I get to know it a bit more.
Yes.
And nice. I don't mind doing software. I mean, that's what I do for a living, so I don't mind doing it. If I feel that I can be creative in it, then I'm quite happy to do it. Right, why don't we play the stinger one more time, because I'm enjoying AI stingers so much, and we'll go into Yep, that was definitely done by AI, including the music, and I make no apologies at all for it. Right, let's see if anybody has guessed what it is. Let's see. I'm pretty sure a certain person called Wagoo has guessed it. Let's go.
Yeah, well, he is Google, isn't he?
Well,
yeah, he's yeah.
I didn't ask. I didn't look.
Hey, Ranzee, I sent you a Facebook guess, so.
I'm not on Facebook, mate. So you can just chuck it in chat if you like. All right.
Okay.
Look, I'm just scrolling through the chat, and he hasn't quite named it correctly. But anyway,
he's not been taking his Parma Violets. That's why.
Let's just get a picture of it. It's probably okay. It's probably okay. Let's get a picture of it for you guys. Try to get a better picture. That's really small. All right. Oh, that's because it's that stupid website. Okay, fair enough. Let's see if we can get a better one. There we go. Let's do that one. Save image as. Hopefully it's not a stupid WebP. Yay! It's not a WebP. Okay, dokies. Downloads. There it is there. Sorry, guys, I've got to put it into the show. Probably should have prepared that early, to be fair. But I didn't want to accidentally click on it.
Blue Peter style.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay.
Earlier.
Let's have a quick look. I'm going to say to everybody that your time is up now. Guessing. Time is up. Time is up for the quiz. No more guesses, please. And I'm going to reveal what it was. It was a Korg Chaos Pad KP1. Let's go back through the clues, shall we? 1999 was the first clue. The second clue was touch. And the third clue was 13.2 seconds. And what does all that mean? Well, I think you guys can guess what 1999 is. That was the year that it came out. By the way, if I do say years, it may not mean the year that it came out. It might mean the year that it got discontinued, or it might mean a revision. There might be something specific about a year, so don't always assume it's going to be the year that it came out. Yeah.
Discontinued.
Yeah. Touch is obviously the touch because it's a Chaos Pad. It was quite a unique product when it first came out. DJs love this stuff. And 13.2 seconds, if you're wondering, is actually the maximum sample length thing this can do, which is a little bit unique. And obviously that will help you guys in Google. I'd prefer if you guys didn't Google. I mean, obviously it's kind of cheating in a way, but
that's why I didn't say anything, because I knew it was cheating.
So the winner of today's synth quiz is Wags. Daniel, you've done well, mate. Korg Chaos Pad KP1 is the correct answer. You've done well. Did you let us know? I'll be honest with us. Did you use Google, or did you come up with that on your own?
No, I Googled it.
Is that the KP3? I thought that was a KP1 that I showed.
Like a KP1.
Dear me.
According to Vintage Synth Explorer, that's the KP1.
Yeah, same thing.
I had one of these.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'll show you another version of it. That is that one. It's the same thing. There you go. What's wrong with that? That's the exact same thing that I had. It was called a KP1. Oh, are you talking about that old original Chaos Pad
yeah,
thing?
he's talking about the old one.
The silver thing.
The silver one.
Yeah,
that's the
silver one.
Yeah.
I see.
They had a nice variant. The Chaos-Lator Pro combined the Chaos KP1 or slash KP3 with the Chaos-Lator, so it's kind of cool. It's my first looper that I got.
Well, the one I sold, it was the same as the picture that I just showed. The one I used to have and owned and I sold.
Yeah.
It was this one, right? In fact, I probably have my original photos.
Because the Chaos-Lator Pro is fully standalone. You could do an entire jam on it, entire track on it.
Yeah. Where's
but the loops are too damn short. That's why I stopped using it. Got boring real fast.
Maybe I don't have the pictures of it anymore. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Actually, Korg say that's the KP3. That picture.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh dear.
Well,
the internet's full of
I'll make it up to him.
Oh dear.
Shall I make it up to him?
Oh, good job. Good job. There's no prizes involved there. There'd have been a chaos, literally.
Yeah.
It would have been chaos.
Yeah.
I like it, Daren.
Yes.
That's good.
So it starts off appropriately. Chaos Pad was chaos. That's fine.
There you go. That's just for Wagoo. There you go, Wagoo.
That's the one.
There you go.
There you
Number
go.
one.
Are you happy now?
Yeah, that's it.
Does that help you? Jeez.
Because you'd see the original ones all like the silver flaking off and stuff. That's
Yeah.
all worn out.
My son's a bit like that, eh? Like, if you say something and it's not quite right, he'll get shitty with you until you correct him. And sorry, you correct it.
Well, in the sciences, it is
showing
important to get it right.
Was he showing the
Music,
KP?
not so much. So.
Anyway, I don't know. I feel like we can continue with that segment. I feel like it's fun. Yeah, people are going to Google it. What do you know? Who cares? It's just a bit of fun, right?
Yeah.
We need a sponsor.
Only thing I googled was the time. I wasn't sure about the time.
Yeah.
Well,
that would have come up
with. It
with
was exactly that. Yeah.
Did that come up? Did it?
No, I mean, just I knew the other two were leading that way, but I wasn't sure about the time thing. I could have thrown the whole thing off. So.
Synth. What did you Google? 13.2 seconds. Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah.
Literally the first result.
Yeah.
Okay.
But after I already thought about the other parts, I just wanted to verify.
You're gonna have to make it harder. These clues are gonna have to be harder.
Well, you'll have to try and solve it yourself the lazy way and see if you can. And if you don't get a hit straight away, you know you got the right clues.
I think that's what I think you guys should do. You know, I think you guys should try and solve it yourselves.
Enter into the spirit of the stretching.
I did. I was guessing that, but then I wanted to verify because otherwise, if it's not the right number, then I was way off. So.
Yeah, I do kind of feel that people would definitely be Googling, right? Googling. The bot's still
I've had
working?
people when I've interviewed people, I've heard them Googling in the background. They're typing furiously.
Oh yeah. The funniest one. You guys have probably actually. Why don't we do this? We'll do this.
Hey.
You have to remember, by the way, Saturday Sonority has been around since literally the very early parts of my Synth Geekery live stream. This is like a 6-year-old show now.
Basically, when we first started, it was just basically Saturday Sonority anyway, because we hadn't had a chance to talk to anything else.
We were just talking,
getting the show done.
Yeah, just pissing in the wind. Exactly. Shouldn't do that, by the way, especially if it's upwind. By the way, I was talking about the funny thing that I watched recently. Well, not recently. It was probably a while ago now, where you watch those, those guys that do the scamming call centers. And there's a guy that actually tries to catch him out, and this guy was
he connects to their cameras.
Yeah, and he's like, "So you're in San Francisco, are you? What street are you on?"
Drowning.
And you could hear the guy
looking up Google Maps,
looking up streets in San Francisco.
Street view is your friend.
He says, "That's a nice red shirt you have on there. Yeah, I like your outfit today."
I am on Smith Street. Whereabouts on Smith Street? Google Maps is coming up. What's the favorite restaurant?
Next to
what's funny about those businesses?
Box.
They're even put behind normal businesses because even in India they want to bust them. Yeah. So they have to hide the business behind another business.
Yeah,
it's a secret entrance.
Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah. So I had a phone call. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it was like, so my phone rings and it says New Zealand on it, right?
It's always a good start.
And then this guy goes, "Hello, sir. My name is Stephen, and I'm from PayPal. How are you today?" And he's like an Indian accent and everything. And I'm like, "Mate, you're not from PayPal." And he starts like swearing at me and calls me all these swear words, like I'm a effing mother effing.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And I'm like, what?
So you have to sample those and make a song with it.
Oh, wish I would recorded it. Hey, I really wish I recorded it. That would have been funny. Yeah, I was a bit sad. I was gonna see, waste his time for a bit.
You have to be skillful enough to waste their time now. They're wise to it. You've got to be.
Yeah, they get mad really easily. It's funny.
Yeah, you've got to really. It's like, oh, you're going to need my password. Sure, hang on, I'll just get it written down here.
Yeah. So, what time is it?
I can get some iTunes cards for you. Will you put some iTunes cards?
I have to admit, we've done a lot of segments today, and we've cooked through about nearly 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I've kept you guys busy for 2 hours and 20 minutes just with segments, and now we're shooting the breeze. So now we can sit back, we can let our hair down. I've got lots of hair to let down. Crack open a beer.
We can unzip
exactly.
Out. Oh,
right?
Maybe not. No, we won't do that.
There is one more segment that we are going to introduce this year, and Chris knows what it is. So we just haven't got we haven't got it going yet. But I want to have like a modular segment, and I want Chris to be the Expert.
Oh, wow.
The expert.
The figurehead.
The expert.
The resident expert. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll bring my boiled eggs to every segment.
Yep. All right. So
the expert on modular.
So let's do a poll, shall we? We'll do a poll. Let's do a poll. How do I do a poll? I thought I could do a poll in here.
You fly to Poland first.
What happened to polls? I thought I was able to do polls in here. Oh, here we go. Plus, start a poll. Here we go. This is just for YouTubers. Sorry, I can only do this on YouTube. All right. The synth quiz segment. Is it a keeper? Yes or no? Here we go. Guys, jump onto the chat now in live chat and let us know whether you think the synth quiz segment is a keeper, whether you enjoyed it. Who knows? I might change the stinger every week.
What happens if someone put no and it's 50-50?
Well, we're just going to have to then deal with that, Daren. We're going to have to deal with that. Yeah, it's a hung parliament. So I mean, you guys have had hung parliaments before.
Unanimous so far.
Cross that bridge when you get to it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to change the stat. And
I wish I'd gone no now, just to be awkward.
I know, I was doing the same thing.
Somebody's going to do it.
I wanted to do it to Ranzee's face just goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's similar but different to Name That Synth, right?
95. Yeah.
Name That Synth is a lot different, right? Name That Synth is using your ears. Yeah. It's a different thing completely.
And the synth quiz is using Google, obviously.
Yeah.
Once.
Some people have said no. Whoa, it's getting worse. Here we go.
Yeah, but that was after prompting, I think.
8% have said no.
Yeah, we did.
I got told years ago when I was doing YouTube, like early in the piece, don't ever ask a question that you don't want to know the answer to.
Yes. If you think you'd be disappointed with one of the outcomes, don't ask.
Exactly.
That's how we had Brexit.
Relationships. That's
the next poll going up. Is my music really that shit? Yes.
Would anyone like to hear my music again? Yeah.
And there's no one replying to it.
Would you pay me money to not publish my tracks?
I was on this podcast and they were talking about, because it was for YouTubers, and they were talking about what's your experience with up votes and down votes, and I said to them, well, it's actually the one in between that's the worst. Because what you'll look at is like there's a video that you've done and it's got something like 120,000 people have viewed it, and there's only 60 people have clicked like on it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the one that maybe it wasn't that good. Yeah.
Because let's face it, views is noise these days when it comes to the way. I mean, the threshold, the bar's so low for a view. It's like, oh no, he buffered it. I know he didn't open his browser tab, but he did put it in his browser tab, so that's a view.
Yeah.
It's like this threshold.
Don't say that, Chris. Don't say that, Chris, because I don't get that many views as it is. Let me leave him high.
That's why I always leave a comment so you know that I'm real.
There we go.
Check the region where your videos are viewed from. That's the fun thing. Look at the regional stuff.
Guys, we've got 26 votes, and I think 92% said yes, and I think that's good enough. Good enough in Australia. That's what I say. Good enough for Australia.
I checked regional. A lot of my views were like Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
A lot of mine,
really?
In America.
Yeah.
Now, mine are where you'd expect. So you guys could pretty much guess where my views are coming from. Where would be the biggest audience of my channel? You guys guess.
UK?
Japan.
Nah, US.
US, right.
Yep. Second biggest is UK, and then Germany about the same. Cool. And Australia is the third. And then you get a whole bunch of others. Like it's kind of tapers down from there. But yeah, the top 5 is kind of US, UK, Germany, Australia. Sometimes Germany, goes above the UK, below. And what it is because if you think about the places around the world where you have the most interest in synthesizers, you know, Japan I think's up there too, by the way. Japan would have been 6th or something. You know, you're not going to, I mean, this is being very generalistic here, but you might not get Indonesia, you know, or I don't know, Malaysia or something like that, right? Compared to like, I mean, they've got big populations, those countries. Like Indonesia's got nearly the same population as the US, right? So don't knock me when I say this. It's nothing against Indonesians or anything, but if they were interested in synthesizers, they'd be checking my channel out, but they're not. There's more people in the US, in the UK, Germany, those sort of places. And if you look at where the music has come from that gets listened to, that's synth-based around the world, they are the countries that mainly produce that style of music. So it makes a lot of sense, you know. I think I would have to say, though, the UK is probably the country in the world which I think nerds out the most on synths out of anywhere. If you look at per capita, like if you were to say, because you've got about 65 million there, right? Yeah. Per capita, like it's nothing like the size of the US. You guys are much more per capita. There's more people in the UK that love synthesizers more than probably anywhere else in the world. Germany would probably be up there as well with that. Da Vinci Girl wants me to ask another poll. I don't know. Depends. Please, who have a Mac Mini M4? 1 yes, 2 no. Plan to buy one. Okay, I can ask that. No problems. Let's do the polls. Polls by request. It is today. Who has a Mac Mini? Here we go. M4. Who has a Mac Mini M? What if they don't have a Mac Mini M4, but they've got a Mac M4? Does that matter? Let me add another option. Yes, no, have other similar. M4. So we've got the fourth. There we go. Bang. Polls up. Who has a Mac Mini M4? Yes, no, have other M4. So you get your answer.
There's a funny hack on the original Apple TV. You could hack it to be a Mac Mini before they changed that.
Oh, with the ARM,
the original
processor.
Apple TV.
Yeah.
But
it didn't have the
It was anemic, but you could do it.
Yeah, it didn't have the embedded graphics system in it and stuff.
No, so, it was very simple. Yeah, very simple.
I've just checked my stats on my channel. You're right. United States is the same as you. Then UK. Then Canada. Canada's my third one. Then Australia. Then Germany.
Okay. Canada, Canada would be up there, but not quite as much as Japan for me. I've
got nothing in Japan.
Yeah, I get a lot of Japanese viewers. Yeah.
Yeah.
About
no.
13% are saying yes. So if you're wondering how many people have asked, 23 people have voted so far, with 13% of 23 is, quickly do the maths. What's that? 2 people?
What?
2 people have got a Mac Mini M4 in chat, I would say. Three people, sorry, I should say. 3 people. There you go.
I'll be changing my laptop before I change my studio Mac.
We'll let it run for a little bit more. There's only 23 people who voted. There's about, I don't know, there's not that many people in the chat, by the way. There's only a small amount of people at the moment on the channel. Usually when we get to this part of the show, we do lose a few people watching it. They like to watch the segments and then they piss off.
I've just done my stats. My stats on my channel. It's showing 98% this household, 2% the rest of the world.
Oh, we've got to sample that.
That's brilliant. I've got
Daren.
cities as well. What cities we're looking at?
Yeah.
Perth, Australia. Really
All right.
into that.
It's 24 votes is enough for a poll. Let's end the poll. There you go. There's your stats. So about 3 people out of the people that answered have got an M4 Mini. And then no one had another M4. I mean, when I say other M4, there's the MacBook M4s. There's the Studio. You know, there's quite a few options to get an M4. If only we just had so much money lying around, we could just give it all to Apple. Hey,
we could.
The interesting news this week, when you think about when you're talking about sort of products that are out there on the market and whether they've overcharged for these products, was the Nvidia share price. And when you start to dig on this whole topic, right, it became quite interesting to me. I've always thought Nvidia GPUs were overpriced. I've always thought that, and because the reason why I've always thought it is because I've been in IT since before Nvidia even were a thing, and I knew how much Nvidia used to charge for their graphics cards when they were trying to get into the market. They were dirt cheap, right? Now that because they think they can, print money with their graphics cards, it's this deep seek Chinese AI engine were running their systems on a really cut down. It's in not cut down as in performance wise, but cut down as in product that was able to sort of, for like less than 10% of the cost, be able to do the same thing as what these big GPUs at Nvidia were, and they lost 15% of their share price overnight. What was something like $1 trillion? Right? They lost $1 trillion off of their, because Nvidia is the biggest, was the biggest. I don't know if it is anymore, but it was the biggest stock in on the Nasdaq, right? So, yeah, there you go. Maybe they were overpriced. Jeez, who would have thought? Sarcasm. We already knew that.
You mean someone in America got carried away with something?
Apple, are you watching?
No, I'm not casting aspersions on American people.
That's what we're best at, right? I mean, look at Texas. Texas thinks they're the best in everything, the biggest and the best.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I remember there was what were these graphics cards that we used to use? Citrix or something? There was like a really
Cyrix.
Trident.
Cyrix,
yeah.
Cyrix. That's it, Cyrix. Yeah. Cyrix Trident or something. They were pretty good. And there was the Matrix. If you wanted to run multiple screens, you had to get the Matrix. They're still around apparently. The Matrix.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that wasn't that made by Avid? No. Yes, I remember the first because in editing, that was where it was sort of like I got into it because my sister was doing editing.
Logic, that's what Steve. You got it, mate. You were there with me. The problem is I've lost too many brain cells, and it's affected the memory.
Knocked out by synths.
Yeah. Other things as well.
By the way, do people want to know what geographic graphics watches my channel? It says not enough geographic data to show this report.
You know what? If you ever want to do an go watch my first ever live stream for the first 20 minutes.
So whenever I feel depressed about my channel, go and watch it.
Somebody showed a clip of it a while back. Yeah, you played a clip on it.
Yeah, it was hilarious, isn't it? I love it though because it's it's reality, right? You've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. And
86% of my channel is male watchers.
Oh, that's actually bigger than mine. Mine's like almost 0% female.
Really?
But it's not zero
it's
because
it's maybe the artist.
Babs is on there right now, right? It's not.
Ranzee, you have the sex appeal. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what. Wow, chicka wow. Yeah.
Put more quokkas in your channel. You get more female viewers. They're cute.
Yeah. We should start doing the makeup tips. That'll help, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
And Robbie says the other 14% are cats.
Okay, and kick us off.
What, makeup tips? Yeah, well,
Yes.
put wax in your hair,
Pluck your eyebrows.
put some lipstick on. Job done, really.
People in my house, right? They all watch TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. I can't actually use those platforms. I know there's a way that you can get around this, but every single time I've ever turned those platforms on, like TikTok, I've told you this before, guys. I just get like really, really young girls wearing bikinis doing dancing, and I just think this is just really wrong. Like, I shouldn't be. I don't know why the algorithm thinks that I should be looking at that, but as a father, I've got a daughter. She's 15. I don't really want to be looking at that stuff, so I just don't look at it. But people tell me, "Oh no, you've just got to teach it that you don't want to see it." And
you do. Yeah,
but why is it showing it to me in the first place? Like, why does it think? This is what I think is wrong with.
It doesn't think. That's the problem.
Why does it think that a 50-year-old man wants to see teenage girls in bikinis doing dancing?
Because there probably are quite a lot of 50-year-old blokes out there.
Because on average,
that's what worries me. Ian. That's the
exactly,
point. That's why I disbanded the
platform.
platform.
It's because of what it reveals about averages and most people and popularity.
Scary, isn't it? So it's also a little bit sad too, I feel. I mean, you've got better things to do, guys. Don't do that.
Apparently they don't. That's
Where's
the problem.
Michael Johnson? We need Michael Johnson again.
You'll go blind.
Yeah. Jamie saying 99.4% male watching his channel.
Yeah, mine's probably about the same as Jamie's, actually. Mine would be it's 99 point something. I just can't remember what it is.
I think you need a new segment, and it's fashion and makeup tips, Rans.
Nah,
that's what we need. Yeah,
nah, I'm good. Whilst there's blokes on here, the wife's happy. So. So Wagoo's saying the same thing. Search page on Instagram's the same for me. I only ever search for people's accounts on there to add them, but every time it's full of filth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Instagram's the same too. And that's why I don't use Instagram either. It's not nudity. It's not. No. We're not talking nudity.
Instagram's a launching page for OnlyFans. A lot of OnlyFans people do stuff on Instagram first.
Oh God!
Come to my OnlyFans.
Really?
So it is. Yeah.
I think it's. I would call it. I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it nudity, but I'd call it risky. I would call it risk or risque.
Yeah, right. Okay.
If you go blankly look for people on Instagram, a lot of that stuff will be risque stuff.
So the people that have come up on Instagram straight away for me is Lottie's Got Cakes, who I'm not into cake making, but she's hilarious, right? The second one is Phil Muso. Hello, Robbie. And then Get Jervis.
Right. Fair enough.
That's the first three.
You're just there for the cat.
And then
admit it.
Sorry? Just what?
Just there for the cats.
That cat is too fat.
It's
but
Jackson is too fat.
But work this out. So those platforms, right, don't get it right. But if I went to YouTube, I've done this as an experiment where what you do is you go into a computer which has got some sort of I'm not going to call it incognito mode or something where it doesn't have any cache, it doesn't have any metadata that it can pick up on, right? Yeah. So you go into like a pristine computer, you set up a brand new account with you put some biometrics in it to tell them that you're male and you're 50 and that sort of stuff. And I go into YouTube and it does not do that on YouTube, on the YouTube Shorts. So it's not obviously they're not using the same algorithms, but it's what I'm saying, it's a bit more tasteful anyway. Yeah, I just don't have time to be training a platform to be sending me something that I think is sensible. It should know that blokes my age want to look at friggin' what do we want,
Well,
cars,
it's really
Synths.
funny. Facebook, although Facebook pretty much blocks nudity, right? Almost every time I go into Facebook, just the first landing page when I log in, one of the icons at the top that recommends stuff is literally a nude photo.
Really?
It's like, how did that get through? How did that get through the system?
That's not supposed to.
It's bizarre.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't see nudity on Facebook.
Haven't Facebook
I don't,
fired
but
all
only
their,
when that
their
thing.
fact checkers?
Oh, that's
I'm
hilarious.
sure they'll crack down on it more now.
Have you guys seen that fact check? You know how because Zuckerberg said he's taken the fact check thing down, and so now there's all these images going around with like complete fake stuff about Zuckerberg, how he's into bestiality and it's just a whole bunch of. It's hilarious because that used to get taken down automatically before. I thought it was quite funny. Obviously, it's just done in humour, people. Don't get upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, synth-wise, what are we up to? What are you guys up to that's new? Tell me. You got the floor.
I've got my album out.
Yeah?
He's got his album out.
I've got my album out. Yeah.
How many albums now, Daren?
Yeah.
How many albums have I done? I don't know actually without looking on Bandcamp. 1, 2, 3. I've done a remix, which I wouldn't class as an album, but it's a remix as well, so that's not counting. At least 5 albums, I think.
That's very good, mate. That's really good.
A single and a remix. Oh, there's 2 remixes.
Good question.
No, I'll take it. It's about 4 albums. No, there's 5 albums. This one, Life We Live 1, Life We Live 2, 21, Life. Might be 6.
4, 8.
So we've talked about this every time.
13 for me.
Wow, that's a lot, Ian. We've talked about this every time we've released albums. Daren, I'm going to ask you the same question. I know you've probably even answered this in the past, but there's other people watching, right? New people that haven't watched the show before. How does it feel now, Daren, that you've released your album? What are your feel like? How, as a person, you've achieved something. You've released an album. How does it feel? Like, what sort of feelings do you have?
Well, I think it feels. When I released the first album, it was just because people said you should release something, and it was like that was live, and it was quite a complex album as it turned out to be. Then the big one, the 21, which was all about space and stuff like that. That felt like a really big achievement, and I was quite chuffed when people actually, because I don't put anything up for money. I mean, it's all free. But I was quite chuffed when someone actually wanted to buy it. Steve here, he's bought quite a lot of my albums, so I really appreciate Steve because, like I say, it's free. You don't have to buy it, but it sort of gives you that boost, thinking, yeah, somebody actually does like your music. This latest album, I sent to Ian, and it's a different feeling because I had his feedback. I wasn't launching it on his record label for obvious reasons, but it sort of gives you that extra vibe of someone's come back with some what they think about it before it's gone out, and it's a different feeling. Yeah, it feels good. It feels sort of more natural now. I don't mind creating albums to put out, whereas before it was like, I don't know, I'll put it out, I don't know if I like it, someone buys it and I think, oh, that's great, I'll make another one. Whereas now with Ian's, like I say, all I wanted Ian to do was just see what he thought of it. We did have a track listing thing because even I wasn't sure which way the tracks was going to go.
I like it a lot.
He come back with his comments and he said he liked it, and then I thought, well, Ian listens to a lot of music, so I felt quite more sort of yes to put it out. So yeah, it's like you, Ranz. You feel good when someone comes back with either decent criticism, buys your album, which is like an honour. You just feel like what you've done wasn't how can I put it? Not a waste of time, because it's never a waste of time because it's your album or your music. But you feel like, yes, other people do like your stuff, and you'll continue to make it. You won't just go, there's no point in this, I might as well give up. But you sort of think, yeah, I like that. Someone liked it. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just have to like it. Or I like it when you see a lot of people listening to it. I'm not bothered if they bought it or not. It's just if they listen to it, you think, yeah, people do like it. And when I get round to make another one, that's going to go up as well. It's like I want to make something for Ian, but the one that I've just done now, which actually only did in December. I started on December the 10th and finished it by the end of December. Obviously, I had slight copyright issues, so it was never going to work. But yeah,
we wouldn't be able to stream it.
Now, Life is Free.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to stream it onto, but we would have been able to put it on Bandcamp like you do. But that sort of defeats the object. The idea would be to get it out onto streaming for you. Which
that's why I said
the licensing is always an issue. I always feel that once I've finished an album, and I've said before plenty of times on here, I make it for me, and if other people like it, and I like it when people buy my stuff. And I'm not talking about Sinner's music because obviously that's something different, but I do like it. It's nice when people buy my stuff, and I always feel quite privileged by that, really. But I do make it for me. And when I've finished an album, I am automatically looking at the next thing. So interestingly enough, I put an album out which has gone out onto streaming but hasn't gone onto Bandcamp, and I thought actually I should put it on Bandcamp. So that's going to happen this year. That's actually quite a long album. It'll be a double album, so there'll be like 20 tracks I think in total. I will go back, and I'm actually going to go back and, I said before I don't really do remixes, but I am going to go back and look at those tracks individually and do something slightly different. I will certainly remix some of it, if not all of it, but I am thinking of the next thing automatically. I'm thinking of, I always need a concept.
Ian, I've got like loads of ideas and albums ready to go. I've just got to write them everything. And as I was talking to Steve at the EMOM last night, my EMOM stuff is completely separate from my YouTube music, my albums up on Bandcamp, and I never put my EMOM stuff out. You see it live, and that's it. So, unless you go to EMOM streams, you'll be able to see me playing there.
Yeah.
You see, because for the last couple of years before the pandemic, I have recorded EMOMs, and now I've got a backlog of EMOM stuff that I actually would like to put out as well. But I wouldn't just put them out as they were. Like, tonight's gig apparently is being recorded by them. I'm recording it myself, and I will put out a video of that 20 minutes at some point in the next few weeks of the whole show. But I will go back and remix. I will go back and work on it and take out the bits that I don't think worked very well, and put it into different tracks. So it may start as an EMOM, but it's not what people heard on the night.
You guys are probably all messed up. I have to sort of do something, Daren, to you. So you guys are probably all messed up because you're probably thinking to yourselves, we're doing Saturday Sonority, but we have forgotten to do one other segment. Can you guys remember what that segment is?
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it. So it's going to have to cut this conversation off.
Pause that discussion.
Yeah, and we're going to have to go to this one. Yeah, it's Price Watch. Scammers, I don't know. Robbie sent this one in. Actually, Robbie said that someone else sent it in. I forgot who. So he told me who sent it in to him. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the show, don't forget to click like the stream. Much appreciated. It's always important to do that. Yamaha DX7, anyone? This one is actually on eBay.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Tell him he's dreaming.
There it is. Where's my eBay switch? There it is. Bang. This one is based in the UK.
Sold. What a surprise!
Yeah. It's not even the Mark II.
It's in clean condition.
Yeah.
DX7, anyone? £2,000.
It's been modded as well.
Yeah, I got one last year for, what was it, $450 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that the Grey Matter mod? Was that what it was called? It was called the Grey Matter mod or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, E's Grey Matter.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Thanks for Robbie for sending that one in. I told Robbie that would be the first one off the ranks on the show too. Yeah, indeed. Good one. Probably borderline scammy, that one. Borderline scammy. Not quite. It's probably just someone, having a
Looks
laugh.
nice condition though.
Yeah.
Someone trying it on. Because probably put a bit of time into it.
Yeah. But yeah, next one. This one's not so much a scam. This one's probably more reality. And that is if you want to get yourself a mono poly. This one's in pretty good. Actually, this guy's got a few listings, and he cracks me up the way he talks about it. Like must see, fully restored, amazing condition. And then you scroll down, and in his listings, I'll show you. In his listings, he goes, bold claim. He does this in all his listings. If you love 80s music,
yes,
no other synth will give you this kind of rich, creamy, delicious
kind of
80s fat
That's
analog
very
goodness. It's a must-have. This guy's crazy, crazy.
Wow.
And I pretty much got to show you this because I just wanted to mention this guy. Big shout out to him though. He's in Colorado. This one I wouldn't mind monopoly.
I'd rather have a Poly 6.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that before.
Poly 6 is nice too.
Monopoly's got that kind of voice stealing problem, hasn't it? So
yeah, it has. Yeah.
Anyway, it's still a nice big fat synth. So I don't know. Are they worth 3,800 Australian? What's that in US? Sorry, Darren.
1,500, isn't it?
I was going to say, does he put the Juno on that stand and then say the same thing? If you like the 80s sound,
I can't remember if I've got another one from the same guy. But anyway, this one's from Drew's Gear Locker. He's in New York, in Astoria, in New York. These are a rare find. This is the Yamaha Strings SS30, made in apparently 1974. I don't know if that is true or not, but I guess you have to trust his listing.
That's some wood.
Is that real fake wood? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. If you had a car that had a dash like that, you would just sell it, wouldn't you? You just wouldn't want to drive it.
Yeah. I suspect it. I don't know. I've never heard one of these. It might be underwhelming if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's a string machine, right?
Yeah.
And what was it? 2,000 Australian, £1,000, probably on the pricey side, I'd say. It is a divide down though, and it does have 2 oscillators. Guess what? We do have another one from this guy. And it's the same area. This one is an Sonic ZR.
Right. Yes.
76. It's the same guy.
ZR76 is a great ROM though. It's a really good sound set. It has some Fismo transwaves in it and stuff. Nice. It's really good.
It's good for 2 reasons though. It's not just good for the sounds, but it's also you can actually put samples on here. Cool. And this one's only £800, so this is actually probably not a bad price, to be fair. It's
by the way, the local shop I always go to has a monopoly for $2,500.
There you go. I actually lusted after these when they came out. I actually was going to get one, but I was torn between getting an SQ80 because I've got an SQ1.
Yeah.
I still love the SQ80. He loves this photo, doesn't he? Anyway, there's a million photos. This guy's like, this is how you do a proper reverb listing. You just put a million photos.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's good. So nice. I wish him luck. That is it. So we had.
And he doesn't get dust on him neither, so he's not even showing dust. It's all clean. And
the ZR76 or ZR76 if you're from the other side of the world. The rare Yamaha SS30, the Korg Monopoly, or the DX7. Geez, the DX7, that's a bargain. £2,000. 4,000 Aussie. No thanks. Mind you though, 1,000 Aussie would probably get you a DX7, I reckon. Maybe a little bit less.
Should be.
Yeah. Which one did you guys get? Would you get the Ensoniq, the Rare Yamaha, the Korg Monopoly, the X7?
I don't know the Ensoniq.
Wow.
Monopoly.
076. It's good.
Ensoniq. Yeah.
Ensoniq for me as well.
Ensoniq.
Yeah, Ensoniq. If Andy says Ensoniq, then I'm going with Ensoniq.
Because
I have the ROM for it. It's a great ROM. So.
Yeah.
You
can keep your DX7.
Yeah.
Oh.
It does have aftertouch, the Ensoniq.
Cool.
It's There's a drum machine on it as well, which is interesting. God, you should see this guy's listing. It's hilarious. By the way, all of those price watch things are available on the blog article, which literally is probably only an hour away before that goes live. Let me just quickly show you what sort of stuff you get to see on the blog article. We'll go to last week's show, click on the blog article, and if you want to go to price watch, oh, that didn't work. Scroll down. Oh, damn, it's going to be a massive amount of products in there. What the hell?
You break the internet.
What the hell? There we go. There's price watch. So all of the pictures, I keep pictures because the listings, as you guys know, they go down. So I always keep pictures. So we showed that last week, but there's also the links to all the auctions there. So you guys can go and buy it if you want to, if that's what you want to do. I'm not going to stop you. Yeah. That's it. All the segments done.
Cool.
Have I inspired someone to do a Name That Synth, or was that really, really crap?
I keep. No, you have. I just need to get my act together. Really, it's good. I did think it was one of yours though, because it was quite obscure. Yours are always really obscure.
But he also has the bumpers.
What you're saying, almost impossible to see.
Oh, the countdown at the start gives it away for me. Yeah. But having said that, people do send me videos in other formats. I may decide to add that bumper on there.
Exactly. I thought
and you guys might be thrown by that. So, yeah. Skippy will be happy. He gets a bit of look in this week. Just with that Unify, that plugin guru.
Steve Elbows with his. Maybe Kent could do a Blame That Synth.
Steve.
Yeah.
Let's give Skippy some love. Plugin Guru, if you guys don't know what they're about, Unify is the software that you really, really should get yourself a copy of. It's $79 at the moment. The prize that you get is that plus a bit of library stuff, which is probably adding up to about $100 It is a multi-host plugin library / patch management all in one. It's really, really amazing. I actually I probably should, when I get around to it, I probably should chuck it on and show you guys a bit more in depth. Maybe we should actually get Skippy on as well. It's been he does have a stream. He does his show, his live show, by the way, is literally after mine. So after we go to bed, Chris, he literally streams sort of morning-ish. I think he lives in LA. I think it's LA. Yeah. So, do go check out Plugin Guru. They're a good supporter of the show and have been for many, many years now. So, we always like people that support us. Speaking of that stuff, don't forget, during the week, we have the Discord server. Yes, it's up and running. It always has been. It's there. It loves you. You should love it back. Ranzee Discord is the bit.ly link to get to it. There's a lot of stuff going on during the week. Some weeks are busier than others, but yeah, do subscribe to that. It's free. And there's also a special Patreon section in there if you are members of Patreon. Zoom, it's too late now for Zoom, but do bookmark that link if you do want to be a regular on the show. You can get yourself in that way. And don't forget, it's getting close to the show, if you guys want to send us a TTS or a super chat to support the show. I got a few bills this week and I'm like, what the hell? This show's costing me so much money. The Zoom bill came in, the Streamlabs bill came in, there's a few others. So it does cost money to make this show, so do see if you can support. That'd be much appreciated. Thanks, Steve, for guinea pigging Zoom again after it didn't work for some stupid reason last week. But it's good to see that it is. I did a software update on vMix, which is the platform that I use to stream from, and they've added this new feature now, which is called what did I call it? Sorry, I got to get the terminology. Telestrator. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Look at that. Isn't that nice of Jamie to put £10 through? Good on you, mate.
Nice, mate.
He used the famous pear-shaped character too.
So Telestrator.
Sonic State used to have that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get.
He used to read it would say the name of the animation on Sonic State. He goes, pear-shaped character says thank you or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let me just get this thing happening for you guys. So Telestrator means that I can draw on the show. Now, is it going to let me do it? If I do that.
Ooh.
That's what I tried to do in my last video.
Careful what you draw, though.
I can do...
It's John Madden now. He's doing American football.
I can do squares and circles. Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
I can
an
even
80s
put,
video.
I can even put a mustache on Steve. There you go.
Yay!
Very good.
Does it have to be yellow?
Yes, it's, you should get a doctor to look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know why they added that feature. I guess it's
Well,
the one that I like is this little dot. So you can actually do a dot. So say I was wanting to point out Daren's Juno. I can go, hey
Lack
guys,
of light.
There's his Juno.
It's like a cursor. Yeah,
see that?
I like
There's
that.
his
It's like a
Juno.
laser
Yeah, no, that's
pointer.
quite cool because if
Yeah.
say if
Kind
you're
of like
trying,
a
say if
virtual
you're trying to
laser
point to
pointer.
anything.
Yeah. So the Telestrator.
Good if we all had one.
That's
I just
the
wish
new-
we all had one as guests.
Yeah,
One
wouldn't
day.
that be cool?
Yeah,
That'd be
one
great.
day they will wake up.
Did you say that was part of VMix? What was that part of?
Yeah, vMix. Yeah. vMix.
that's cool.
vMix 28. Yeah. If they're just gonna have to get busy and start coding, thinking about developing that.
Get out of
That
my
reminds
hand.
me of do you remember the Sony video cameras had the capture feature where it would do like a chroma key kind of capture of things, and you can invert it and do overlays like that.
I can do all that stuff in here too. There's mate.
It's like a Luma key.
Yeah, there's Luma keys, chroma keys, every friggin' key.
Same thing in OBS Studio. Yep.
Indeed. Yeah. Awesome. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that before, and also a big thank you to the people that are on TikTok and Twitch. Nice to have you guys. I don't really know what else to. I think you follow me on TikTok. I think that's how you do it, and it's the same with Twitch.
You do follow people, yeah.
So Twitch is also follow. Don't forget to follow on Twitch, and don't forget to do the Amazon Prime if you've got that as well. That's always good. Another thing you can do, as I mentioned before, the Patreon is got the sample packs, and by the way, that sample pack, this is just the start of many things to come with the sample pack. I'm going to be doing lots more of the VCZ oscillators. By the way, with those decent sampler plugins, right? If you download the sample pack, you get raw wave files. So you don't have to use the decent sampler. You can put them into your own MPC, into your Akai Force, whatever you like. It's completely done properly. What else is going to say? Channel membership on the channel is big at the moment, because you guys who are channel members will know that there's been at least 2 videos plus a live stream every week, probably for the last 2 or 3 weeks, happening on my channel. So the good thing about being a channel member is you get the videos as soon as I upload them. You get to watch them straight away. You don't have to wait till the scheduled release date. So that's a benefit. And Patreons get the ad-free version, so they get some benefits as well, and they get them straight away too. So there's a couple of things there.
Hey, Ranzee, if you want to up your TikTok game, you have to introduce a dancing segment or some planking or some kind of.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Damn it!
I'm going to do it. I did a little dance.
I'll do it if you do
the
it.
base station. Yes.
Yeah.
It's called the
Andy,
base
I'll
station.
do it on my channel if you do it on
We
your
all
channel.
we all start voguing like Ian was just doing.
Yeah. I have not done that on TikTok. That is not what I've done on TikTok.
I'm not going to do it. There's no way in the world. No way in the world.
I'll be like, we're like Liver King, eat some raw liver on stream. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to probably end the show here because it's midnight. Or it's after midnight now, my time. So pumpkin time for me. I've got some stuff to do tomorrow. Good time to finish. 3 hours of streaming. That's a long time for us to be sitting here. You guys have probably got lives to go to. So I do appreciate all your time. Don't forget to click like and thank Daren and Andy and Ian and Chris and also Steve for coming on the show and hanging around with us for 3 hours and giving us our company and sharing their knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledgeable people here on this panel and we come back every week. Much appreciated to have them all here, and also much appreciated having you guys join the show live every week too. Love having you all. Let's say goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you
Bye, everyone.
Next week.
See you next week.
Enjoy. Press record, please. Be nice. Press record.
Goodbye, and anyone going to Yeemon's, have a good time.